Back to the kick-off, one of the last remaining independent live shows out there. Do you know what I mean?
That.
We haven't been bought. We haven't sold our soul, have we?
Yet.
Not
I mean,
yet.
if anyone wants to bid for the kickoff, we will be there for it. Yeah.
His Excellency's been in touch with me.
Come on.
Saudi, do you know that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that.
No.
I had a voice note from His Excellency.
No way.
Mr. Saudi, I'm not even shitting you. I'll tell the full story on the Tyson Fury Usyk live stream, but I'll tell you afterwards. That's going to be wild, isn't it?
That's good, Dan.
Imagine.
That's
Big
good,
True
Dan.
Geordie out in Saudi Arabia.
That is
not
incredible.
Wild Big John's Day, I tell you. No man alive. We're going to be doing Liverpool versus Chelsea today. Josh, quick one. How confident are you feeling?
I'm not confident at all, to be honest with you. I'm really kind of expecting us to lose. So I'm preparing myself for that. In fact, what I've done all day today is sort of almost do like a Zen meditation sort of thing, where I've sort of gone, yeah, it's okay if we lose. They're top of the league. It's fine. Don't worry. Klopp has got all this energy behind him. Obviously, they're going to win. But then I'm still like, come on,
Do you know what it
please,
is?
just
But
get the result.
We're going to get in the Klopp thing, but it could go the opposite way. I've been thinking, like, what impact is this going to have? Announcing it now and not later.
It's going to have a beautiful impact.
But we'll get into it later because we're going to talk about the impact of one Mr. Marcus Rashford. First, your boy. I'm not going to lie, when we seen that he'd called in sick and then immediately all of the news, all of the papers got hold of the fact that he'd been on a wild night out in Belfast. What are we making about what this just sums up for Marcus Rashford right now?
Go on, KG.
Oh man, it sucks. And you know what? I think you and the club, there's something going on because you call me at the greatest moments. You call me at the peak of a scandal. Anything that goes on, I'm here and I have to deal with this. This is terrible. This, like, I saw the video that you did as well, just like about the disrespect Rashford. There was
I
just
think for a homegrown player, that's what got me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him like, you're Steven Gerrard, you're John Terry, you're Alan Shearer, that's who you are supposed to be.
none of those people,
to Manchester United.
He's supposed to be.
And none of those lads would have done that to their own fans like that. It's disrespect.
You know what? It's like it's so difficult because there's two ways with this Rashford thing. I believe that Rashford in his time at Man United we're getting close to the end. I think that you've been here your whole life. He's literally, as a kid, all the way to, and he runs the place.
He's 27 this year.
Yeah, but you can tell when I tell you know when different teams in different sports you talk about the franchise player, he runs the place. This is his team, it's his. But the problem is, it kind of feels almost undeserved because you should have achieved more before becoming that guy.
Does he run the place by default? Not because he hasn't done the Cristiano Ronaldo thing to be the main man. It's no one else is really pulling up.
Well, there's no one else.
All the other main men left.
Yeah.
Essentially, everyone else has gone, and he's been left there. Like the thing is, I still think of Rashford like he's a kid.
Yeah,
I still think of him like he's 21 or something, and then now, like you think of him now, and you go, oh no, like he's as you say, he's nearly 27. I think he scored 11 goals last season. So like he's so streaky. Like I was looking through his stats today. He's had 2 seasons where he scored 17 Premier League goals.
Yeah,
he's had a few where he scores like 7 or something. Like he's so
his
up
current
and down.
stats for an update are, so last season it was 1 in every 2.
Yeah.
This season it's 1 in every 5. So that's the level of inconsistency.
But when you sign my thing is, I think he needs a new experience. I think he needs a new environment because you wouldn't do that. Like the decision that he made, he knew it was wrong. Like he was even in the club when they're saying there's the line of and no NDAs as well. This is the most reckless night out you could ever have. Like this is ridiculous.
But I said this to you a few weeks ago. It's like when a serial killer wants to get caught.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I remember a few weeks ago when there's pictures in nightclubs. It's like if he wanted to go to a nightclub where he wouldn't get pictured, he could go tonight.
Yeah.
Like anyone who earns that kind of money, if you want to go somewhere quiet, you can go somewhere quiet. He's doing this deliberately. It's a power play. He's going to war with Ten Hag, and
Do you think it's a war? You can't go to war with Ten.
He's going to war with Ten Hag. From his perspective, he's thinking it's me against you, and the owners are going to get rid of you. New manager comes in, and I can be the main man again.
But he's the main man. He's put his but this I don't believe it's a war against Ten Hag. I believe it's someone that just doesn't. It's their arrogance. I just think it's a level of arrogance. He thought Newport. It's not that big of a game. I should be able to do enough to train. I don't think he knew the night was going to get as crazy as it got. Like I honestly feel Wednesday is enjoying. Thursday's like, should we go back? And then after it's like,
okay,
it's all right. We can train.
Because you're saying that there's not a Ten Hag thing, but like when you're publicly congratulating Sancho on a move away after Sancho told Ten Hag to go and fuck himself publicly, that shows a lack of respect for the manager. Whether or not you've got full-blown beef with the manager, I don't think we can say that for sure.
Because he's put his arm around him. There's not been a manager that's showed as much love to Marcus Rashford as Ten Hag.
When you say love, what do you mean?
As in, he won't drop him. He won't, like, even when he got really bad, and it's like, he said, I'll even move you over to the right-hand side. And don't get twisted, not like anyone on the right-hand side's pulling up trees there, but Anthony's his other love child that he's given a lot of time to, and we know what we think about Anthony on this table. But he said, Rashford, go on to the right-hand side. Then after he's forced it, even now, like, a lot of Man United fans are upset that he's straight back in the team. He said in this Wolves game, this is the same guy that's been late before. He's done some unprofessional things before and not tracked back, and he's not punished him.
Is it that though that with Rashford, he always gets in the team because talent-wise, he's levels above some of the other lads that you've got there. So that's where the arrogance comes from. When you're saying that Ten Hag's done a lot for him, I personally thought when he complimented Sancho on his move away from Man United publicly like that, that's a fuck you on some level.
Surprise. That's a surprise.
That's moving your tanks to the border. That's just positioning yourself.
Because he deleted it afterwards.
But he knew.
I'm just showing everyone, and then, silly me.
He knows it's going to get screenshotted. And he has been. I saw him get dropped for the Liverpool game.
But didn't he do that when he said, didn't he do this thing to say that everyone's making shit stories about this, and it didn't mean that? In his head, I think he's silly enough. I don't call him stupid, but he's silly enough to think that is separate. Like, I'm just wishing my mate all the best on his next trip, but it's like, no, everyone else can read it as you shouldn't do this. Even like going on a night out, guys, to a place where you're gonna get caught and thinking and saying to the person, please don't say anything, I could get in a lot of trouble. Are you an idiot? Like, you play for Man United.
She literally sold her entire soul.
Straight away.
Yeah, you look trustworthy.
Yeah. She was texting the son on her way into the club. She was like,
it's the lack of thinking, but it's the feeling of invincibility. There is even when you just when you see him and just how he carries himself, you do get this thing from Rashford. It's like, I don't care.
Do you forgive that though? Like, because for me, my brain goes to back when I started. The reason I started this whole shit was I was angry at players being ungrateful for the opportunities they had. And I look at him on 350,000 a week, and he can't even be asked to turn up for training, and sometimes can't even be asked to track back. And you're looking at him like, what the fuck? And you've got talent, but nowhere near the talent required to be like, I'm a one-man team, and I'm just going to let you do the hard work.
But the standards.
This is mind-blowing.
Do you know someone showed
while he's out of play, while his attitude is the way it is, you will never change the culture of Manchester United as a manager. Because when you show weakness, and in my opinion, Ten Hag, we had a private issue with Sancho. Ten Hag made it public. You've got a public issue with Rashford. Ten Hag's played it privately. That indecisive flip-flopping as a manager, you will never get people's respect when you're indecisive and treat people differently like that.
I think it's different. I think Ten Hag finds himself in a precarious position, and I've been arguing the financial side of this. Basically, he's had the situation with Ronaldo where, with the Ronaldo situation, we had to tear out the contract, but it's a breakdown of him and Ronaldo's contract. I mean, in him and Ronaldo's relationship. The second issue that we've had now at the club is Sancho. Jadon Sancho used to be valued valued at what 60 to 70 million. Now Jadon Sancho, his value is worthless.
He's worthless. Why would anyone pay anything?
There you go.
When you know the manager can't play with him.
With a new guy, with Omar and this new, with everything that's brand new at the club, and they didn't select you, by the way. The new guy at the club, they're gonna say, wait a minute, you're just devaluing. Whatever you can be harsh on players, this, that, and the other. All I know is in this FFP crisis that we're all experiencing at our clubs, with no one
stupid.
It's the FFP crisis that's going on at the moment. We can't afford to lose, and these are homegrown. So when you sell Rashford, you're actually selling for pure profit. Whatever issues that you lot have, fix it right now.
That profit needs to be as much as possible.
Whatever issues that. So I think I honestly don't think this is a situation where it's the weakness from the manager. I honestly think that he knows his job is on the line, because you're even hearing stuff. You're hearing loads of stuff now. Omar's going to make the decision, all the CEOs and this, that, and the other, and he's never been their guy. So right now, I think he's in a big job interview. So let's not fight fires. The only way that he can save his job for me is a European finish. If you're the new guy, or everyone else is new, and you're here.
What, European Champions League or European?
Not the shit one, not the conference league.
I just wanted to clarify.
Not the West Ham one. Not the West Ham.
The other, the Europa top 4. That's the only way. And at the moment, there's still a chance that you could do something this season. There's still a chance, even if it's mad.
You only do that with Rashford playing well.
That's it.
But I'll give you an outsider's perspective on Rashford.
Yeah.
I've been watching Man United for years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching Man United players fuck up for years. I remember Cantona. He weren't an easy player to manage. He got managed. I remember Beckham drink driving. He got managed. I remember Keane. I remember Rooney wanting to go to Man City. At one point, they all got managed. Ria. I look at Rashford. He's your most talented player. There's a striker shortage going on in Europe at the moment. There are no good forwards out there. If he's on the market this summer, Rashford, I reckon he gets sold for less than Pedro Neto. Genuinely.
Wow.
How much is it? So
what would you think Rashford goes for?
I was talking about that today. I've got to get more than Kai Havertz money.
No way.
I don't think you will.
No way.
I don't think because of the way. We all need to get that, mate. We all need to get that.
I'm letting you know that I need to get that.
We wish you didn't get that.
First things first, English, right? So what?
English.
You're going to get that extra 10, 20 million just for that alone.
Throw that on top.
How many years has he got left on his contract?
He just signed a new one.
What did Havertz go for?
65.
65 million. Don't piss me off. There's no way. When I look at that, I say, and Cole Palmer went for how much?
45.
45.
He made money on
England,
Cole Palmer.
Exactly. So we're talking about, I need the English tax to be
Let me
We bought Hoyland, just on top
go.
of that, we bought Hoyland for what, in the 70s or something, and he scored 13 goals. So you can't tell me that I can't get top dollar for Rashford, because he's still going to be, he's a threat, he can score in big games, he's got pace, he's got this. He's probably just at the end of his journey at Man United.
I feel when PSG came in, I feel that was your moment to get rid of him.
That's what Ranić said. Ranić said that. Ranić, since leaving Man United, has said he advised the board they should have sold him at that point. Now, here's the problem with Rashford. Everyone knows you need to get rid of him because he's gone to war with the manager, right? And there's a problem. Now, the other thing with Rashford, he's on 350 grand a week, right? That, no one can afford that.
I mean,
who
PSG
pays?
could.
That's one team.
Yeah.
It's one team.
Yeah.
And when you know there's no market, when you're the only buyer, you're not paying big money. As Brian says, he's going to be 27 years old this year. Like, there's no resale value. This is his last big move.
No, this is a
It's
good
one move.
for the French league. Bringing in, not saying he's nowhere near Mbappe, but I'm taking that pace and bring him into, and this the brand as well of Rashford. There is a brand, which is however you want to break it down. They could do such a move.
I think he goes 55-60. I think it's 55-60. And I tell you what, if it's that fee, as an Arsenal fan, I'd want Arsenal in on that, because the thing about his behaviour, right? I think you have to talk about the culture at a club.
Yeah.
And you know that the culture at Man United at the moment is broken. And it's been broken for over 10 years.
Yeah.
The culture at Arsenal is good. We cleaned up shop. We got all the clowns out. And it's good.
Would you not be scared of introducing someone who could be poisonous to that?
But it's chicken and egg, Brian. It's chicken and egg, Brian. You look at the culture of a club. Do you go, is it a good culture because there's no arseholes? Or are there no arseholes because it's a good culture?
Well, he's behaving like an arsehole, though.
But what I'm saying is, do you not think...
But you're witnessing him do that.
But Arsenal have got 23 players in that squad. You don't think any of them have got the capability to be arseholes? They're not all perfect.
But part of the reason Rashford's an arsehole is his feeling of invincibility, that untouchable, I'm one of the few talented people here.
Is he an arsehole?
I don't
or
think
is
he
it
is.
the situation? Like for me, I still think he's going to war with the manager. I think if it was another manager, someone who commanded Rashford's respect, I don't think he would be an arsehole.
He absolutely doesn't respect Ten Hag.
No. But you look.
Are you serious? The guy went on the piss and called
I'm
in
not
sick.
having that. He just done a madness. Bro, he's like, bro, I'm not having this total disrespect. This guy, it was ill thought. It was a stupid thing to do. It's like, he's gone out and you've not thought it through. Honestly, I think it's one of those.
It sounded very thought through.
Look at Sancho.
By the girl's account, he'd made his mind up.
Yeah.
We're on a session. We're on a session.
As soon as he got to the hotel, and said, "I'm going out." Why did he go to Belfast?
I understand that I've got an anti-Ten Hag narrative.
Yes,
all right?
you do.
And you're
A strong
one to
one.
push back on that. But like, let's be real. That's not a sign of any respect. You can't look at that.
It
and
was
go,
crazy.
You can't look at that and go, he definitely respects Ten Hag. There's no way you can say that was true.
No, but I
I
don't
think
think
if
there's.
that's Jose,
I
he
don't
doesn't
think there's
do
a.
it.
No, but I don't think. Oh, lovely score. Spurs are losing. I don't think it's an issue with the. I don't think there's a big issue with the manager. Like, it's not gone to war with the manager. I honestly feel that yes, that the Sancho thing has happened. This manager has shown him all the love that he needs to show.
He knows that. Right, let me just put this in a context.
Yeah.
Right. So Rashford's been on this journey. He's watched Cristiano Ronaldo walk out the door. He's seen the way they treated David De Gea. He's seen the way he's made that Jadon Sancho got tossed out the door as well. Right. Fuck you. You're not listening. Fuck off. He knows that his manager has lost 9 Premier League games this season, new ownership, and is now under pressure. Him and his behaviour will have a direct impact on the way it reflects on his manager. He's 27 years old this year. Like for you to say it's nothing to do with the manager, there's got to be a point in Marcus Rashford's head over that 24 to 48 hours where he thought, what will Eric Ten Hag think of this?
Yeah.
And he's thought in his head, I don't fucking care.
He doesn't care.
Clearly. So I'm just saying, bro.
Don't you just think
I'm not
it's
saying that he
arrogant,
hates
though?
Ten Hag.
Don't you think it's just
but
arrogance?
There's got to be a level of a lack of respect.
Don't you think it's just arrogance, though? I think there's a thing.
I think they're all arrogant, but your job
exactly.
as a manager is to command that respect.
Exactly, Brian. Let me ask you a question. Jadon Sancho, would you have him at Newcastle?
Yeah.
Right. So, are you not worried about him turning up and causing problems? But he's never done it anywhere else.
You know what it is I think the Sancho thing was more. I think that was actually less of an obvious problem. It became obvious because Ten Hag opened his mouth. Marcus Rashford's one of the most famous sportsmen in the world, and he literally went out and made it public without Ten Hag having a choice in that.
The point I'm trying to make is that, like, we've seen people say Sancho's never had any behavioural issues anywhere else.
Oh, no.
And it's happened
Dortmund.
The Dortmund staff said they had no
Dortmund
issues
said,
with
no,
him.
they
The
have.
Dortmund took him back with open arms.
No,
though,
it's
didn't they?
written. It's written about how Dortmund how he was moving. Nemanja Matic has come out and said that.
Keep it on Rashford, though.
Go ahead.
Right, what we're saying about in terms of him this season,
He's culpable. Rashford is
course he's
culpable.
culpable.
is it time to
course
cash in, though?
Of course it is. Rashford is, and that's what's hard for me because I'm like, this guy's shown you nothing but love. He's put his arm around you. I remember on the pre-season, I was there like watching this guy, and he's like, Rashi can be this guy. He can be my 30 goals. Because when they got rid of Ronaldo, he said, this can be my 30
But
goal
I'm
a
wondering
season
what you
guy.
haven't seen, though, because there's other players had massive fallings out with Ten Hag. So let's just put a number on it.
Yeah.
What number, as a Manchester United fan, let's say you own the club, would you say yes to?
75 million. Immediately. 70 million.
Why immediately, though?
Because I believe it's the time.
Because last
I believe
season,
it's time.
without Marcus Rashford,
Yeah.
you ain't getting Champions League football or even close to it.
No, but I believe it's time. I think
Really?
we had that season when he swore at the fans and it was a bit awkward. And what we should have just cashed
This
in.
is what makes me think that you think he is the problem. Like, his attitude, you've had enough of it.
I've had it. I have, because he's not like, I feel like, if you've been somewhere for too long and he
You're
had
too comfortable.
Even when he had that thing with the own fans, when he's like that to the own fans, something's happened. There's been a disconnect. He had that breakdown when he wanted to have a fight with when one of the lads offered him out, and this is his own fans. He's had these couple skirmishes with the fans, and I feel like he's been there for long. He's disillusioned, and he's just had enough. Now he's like, he needs a new challenge because he's not running. Rashford is Manc born and bred, whatever. In the derby, after losing, he went to party. Like, he actually went on a night out for his. You don't do that as a true. You know what this derby means. Like that's like you lot losing to Sunderland and being out and partying after that. Are you taking the piss?
You don't forgive that.
But then he's done it. So that lets me know that he's disconnected and he's become Marcus Rashford the brand more than Marcus Rashford the Man United player. What it means to play for this club. So for me, it's like, you know what, Rashi, thank you for your time. You've not been in the public eye for silliness, but there's been too many close.
And you're still saying, after hearing all of that, you'd want him at Arsenal.
Can I tell you why? He's a product of the toxicity at your club. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about what he did to your fans. Mm-hmm. I watched Granit Xhaka literally tell Arsenal fans to fuck off.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Cultural reset. Arteta comes in. 2 years later,
fans are sad to see him
we
go.
want him back.
Yeah.
We want him back.
But
all these players are arrogant.
Yeah.
All of these players can be arseholes. They've all got the capacity to. Your captains have done it in the past.
Yeah.
Beckham did it. Rooney did it. Cantona did it. They can all do it. But if the culture at the club is right, you can harness
feel
that
like
talent.
it's more on Ten Hag than Rashford then?
I think it is. I think it is because I think you have to look at what is above these players. They've all got the capacity to do this. There are players that could go to Man United now who've had no issues anywhere else that I guarantee would have issues there. And in the same way, mate, Rashford is an elite talent. I don't think he's performed at an elite level.
He's a good player. He's a very good player.
He's not performed at an elite level. But you look around the forward market right now. Josh, your club needs a forward. Your club is going to be looking at players like Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, maybe Victor Osimhen for 130 million quid from Napoli. If Rashford's moving for, let's say, 60 million quid, you should be looking, my club should be looking, your club should be looking.
What about 75?
I want a striker.
The problem...
Because let's be honest, the English tax and the brand of Rashford is so...
what you're getting, mate.
It's worth that. It's worth money.
What breaks the argument is the wage.
MBE.
That's what breaks the argument is the wage. Because 350 grand a week...
He ain't moving for any less.
He's coming with an MBE as well, mate.
He might have to... 50 grand a week is for the MBE. It's for the trophy for the MBE.
He's not worth that money. Let's be honest.
He's an elite
His stats will not be worth 350 a week.
But
Newcastle could do it. Newcastle
Bear in mind, Kevin De Bruyne, who's basically been guaranteeing City titles, is on, 400 grand. So that you're not guaranteeing titles.
Wait, if you put him, let's say, I would hate to see Rashford at Arsenal. That'd be it. That'd kill me. That's mad.
You're literally welcoming him out the door.
No, that is mad. That's one
He's
club.
walking into France. He's walking into France.
At Newcastle, I wouldn't mind.
Rashford ain't going to France for me. I think his ego,
Newcastle,
at his age, he'd want to do more in the Premier
He's not going to get 350 grand.
No, Newcastle.
They can't afford it. They wouldn't be able to afford it.
Newcastle, I'd love it. Go to Newcastle. It'll be fine. And then, it'll be good. You would love him.
With all due
you
respect,
would love Rashford.
He wouldn't get in ahead of Anthony Gordon. Right now.
So wait,
I
would he
don't
get
see
in the
that
Arsenal
happening.
team above Martinelli? Because that's who he's going up against, right?
The thing is, this is the problem, is because at 350 grand a week...
Got to start him, mate.
Start
him, lad.
Look, the problem I've got is that I'm looking at the other options we're going to bring in this summer, and we're probably going to have to throw 70 million at Ivan Toney. We might have to throw a load of money at Victor Osimhen, and I don't know if any of them are better than Rashford.
Tony's a better striker than Rashford.
He's a better nine. He's a better nine.
Yeah, exactly.
But the way that Arsenal play football,
you've got Martinelli, right? You don't need a Rashford.
What I'd like is a versatile forward that could play wide and through the middle.
No, you can't do the free. It's not what you want. You don't want that. It'll be better than Nketiah. It'll be better than what you do.
Rashford is a right winger only. That's the only.
I don't think he's a right winger. I think he's a left winger.
Well, he's only on one wing.
But Josh, the problem with Rashford is he's an elite talent. He runs like the wind. He kicks a ball better than anyone. He can finish, but he's had dreadful management. You've not seen him under a good manager. He's had Mourinho, he's had Ollie, and he's had Ten Hag.
To say that Jose is not a good manager is a bit mental, isn't it?
Did it work? Did it work?
I think it was quite a while ago. To be fair, the Rashford now is a lot more in his prime, to be fair to Mourinho. Like, you're getting more of a finished article now.
And Ten Hag was a part of that, just letting you know. So don't leave him out of that, just in case.
I think his best season was under Ollie. His 30 goals.
Are you deadly serious that you would play him and buy him for that amount of money at Arsenal?
And you drop Martinelli.
That's incredible.
I'm not saying I drop Martinelli.
You'd have to.
I'm not saying...
No,
350.
Can't play all of them, mate.
He's not going to be sat on the bench at 350
Can't play all of them, mate.
Kai Havertz has come in on 65 million quid, earning 275 grand a week, and he was on the bench yesterday.
Bro, you said Arsenal wouldn't pay the wages. That's not a kick in the arse away from Rashford's wages.
No, but what I'm saying is they don't have any more space. They don't have any more leeway for the wages.
Welcome to 2023.
Yeah.
Squad players cost 65 million quid now. It's disgusting and it's horrible.
Right.
But I say to you, Brian, you need a forward. Would you do
It
it?
makes sense.
Would you do it?
You know what? I get what you're saying.
And it's the
because
same as with me. You're saying
in
you wouldn't
terms of
bench
squad
Gordon.
depth, and in terms of when Isak inevitably gets a knock, it wouldn't be a bad. But do you know what? The attitude I'm saying, for me, good attitudes in teams are so important. Like. And when you get a bad one, it's like a
He's
rock.
not a bad attitude.
this is
He's
what
not.
I
I think
agree.
he's been mischaracterized. He's not a bad attitude
not
player.
bad
I mean,
attitude.
I'm
He's just
going
not
off the evidence, to be fair.
Nah,
No, but
he's been
He's
just
the
been
reason
at
that kids get free school dinners. He's not a
Yeah,
bad
like-
guy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
It's
part-time
very
dinner
true.
That's what I'm
lady.
saying. He's
He's a
done it.
nice geezer. He's a nice
He's
geezer.
talking about MVE. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
No, but come
He's
on.
mates with the
He's
fucking
football's-
queen.
He
Well,
went
not
on.
the queen,
He's
you know what I'm
football's
trying to say.
Mandela, bro.
I don't care what fucking Mandela.
He's football's Mandela.
I don't care what fucking player you are. Like, if you go out on the piss when we've got a game and fuck the game off, you're a wank.
You would love Marcus Rashford at your club.
He
I
suits your
promise
team.
you.
He suits your team.
No,
You
but
would love him.
because we're a team that works hard.
And you get that. He will leave.
He would do it.
Do you know what the killer is? You got to look
You
at
literally
Marcus.
just said he wasn't tracking back.
For us,
Us,
he's
yeah.
done.
If he
he's
won't track
done.
back for his boyhood club,
No,
then why
because
the fuck would he do it for
because
Newcastle?
he's come to the. You know, like you go to a new job and you're like,
I'm going to try for a
I'm going to
bit.
try here.
That's not going to last, what, 2
it-
years?
I'm
and then
going to
you're
try
fucking-
here.
But this is the thing, that there's players everywhere who've got madness going on in their private lives. If
Kyle
perform on the
Walker.
pitch, there
But
we go.
say no name.
He's got about 7. He's
He
got,
couldn't wait for it to drop that.
Bro.
He was waiting for
The
Carl Walker to come out
testosterone
with
is pumping
that.
within that man.
Mate, he's got.
We need to test it.
Heavy.
He's got about 7
What a player,
families,
though.
and he won the treble last
What a
season.
player.
Tell you what, whatever Pep's delivering in them injections is working a fucking treat. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitter. And also, I'll try and read the super chats. I promise not to be useless. We are going to break the game down. Liverpool, Chelsea, obviously Jurgen Klopp from here on out.
Jürgen.
It's going to be interesting to see what we see from his team. We're going to talk about at half time about the actual resignation coming up of Jurgen Klopp. But today, can you talk us about the team sheet that Chelsea put out, bro, and the lineups? Thanks.
Let's start with Chelsea. So Petrovic in goal, Chilwell. Thank God he's fit. He's on the left-hand side. Next to him is Thiago Silva, Badiashile, and Disasi is centre-back playing at right-back. Watch that side. Then you've got Fernandes and Caicedo as a double pivot. Noni apparently on the left. Gallagher, Sterling maybe on the right, and then Cole Palmer as the false 9. He's chilly. We've got 2 cold boys in our lineup today. Then for Liverpool, you've got Alisson, Bradley, Canate, Van Dijk, Gomez. So that means that Trent and Robertson are both on the bench, which is an interesting one. We thought maybe one of them would start, but neither of them have. Soboslai, McAllister, and Jones, and then Diaz, Jota, and Nunes.
Danger
Danger.
with Jota. So you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Just because it's your team, I'm ready to see you lose.
You're gonna be Liverpool
I
fan,
love
mate.
seeing you lose.
Wait a second.
No, I'm
Man
not a Liverpool
United
fan.
fans supporting
I'm not-
Liverpool.
no,
Love
I'm
it.
just saying-
inject it.
I'm not a
Inject
Liverpool
it.
fan. I just because you're gonna lose, but I will enjoy like you losing.
Mate,
I
to
do.
be fair,
I'm not gonna lie.
To be
I
fair,
check-
we're your
when-
nearest competitor at the
when
moment because you're
thingy-
nowhere near Liverpool.
When
I'll tell you that
absolutely.
for sure.
When Brian, I check on Newcastle, yeah, just because if there's someone at the table that I think you know what, it'll be fun to watch them lose, and I tune in, I click it on, and I'm
You
like,
must have hated last night.
I love it. So I'm not gonna lie. If you're sad, I would enjoy it.
That's unbelievable, mate. Because after everything that Liverpool have done to your football
Oh, no,
club,
Man City-
after Jurgen's victory parade where he's going to win
I
the
hate
quadruple,
it, but I know
you're gonna be happy
It
when
ends.
Jurgen wins a quadruple.
No, I don't think he's gonna win a quadruple, but it ends, bro. This is finished.
Do you not think, though, right? And let's just
Yeah.
speculate. with no Mo Salah, you always have to attack the game with a hint of positivity of, look, one of the greatest players we've ever seen play the game in the Premier
Yes.
League is not playing today. We've got a bit more of a chance than what we normally would have because Mo Salah just tormented Newcastle. Ruined my life there. And,
I wouldn't want to see him up against our defenders. To
Exactly.
be honest with you,
No,
I really,
mate.
I really wouldn't. But saying that,
Chilwell's hamstrings will be quaking.
oh
wouldn't
god,
it?
his hamstrings will go already. He'll be off the pitch already.
Apparently, you guys played a bit better against Villa. Joey suggested. Joey's on holiday, by the way. So
Don't listen to Joe.
he said that there were signs of improvement against Villa.
Yeah, a good 0-0 against,
A good team.
a Villa team that is a good team, but also been rubbish recently. Lost the other day.
You suffered them up for it, really. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you did us a favour there. So yeah, I mean, I think that Aston Villa are actually on a bit of a downward trend now, and they will fall out of the top 4.
Who called that? Sorry?
Yeah.
Who called that?
We'll get to a moment.
You said Unai
done.
Emery, famously for Arsenal, had a worse second half of the season, and that you thought that would happen.
My Nigel Farage moment. You all laughed at me.
You all laughed at me. You all laughed at me.
It's not the last time you'll mention
laughing
Nigel in this show.
The fact that Cole Palmer is a false nine, though, like.
I hate it, Brian.
I thought that in the January transfer window, Chelsea would go out there and try and sort the situation out.
Oh, mate, you can't have it both ways. You can't have a Chelsea going out and buying a number 9 and also having all the FFP concerns. Yeah. You've either got to say Chelsea are being very good and being conservative, or you're saying, Chelsea got to go for it.
£1 billion conservative. A billion.
I thought Chelsea, given how much money that club has generated, were still in a good position to carry on.
We are in a good position. I just don't think, like, January centre forwards.
Do you know what it is?
You can't really buy one.
I think that Chelsea may be in a bit of a. I think every Premier League club has shut themselves a bit with FFP now that we're watching Everton and Forest getting punished.
Yeah.
But that being said, I just thought that there was a bit more confidence from Chelsea to go out. And when I seen that they were quoting 50 million for Broja, my eyes went wide open, and that's when I went, oh shit, your guys are desperate. You're fucked.
Well, I think you got to look at, like, we were hoping that Trev would be out and been sold probably to Serie A. We were hoping that deal would be done. Maybe that was 20, 30 million.
So they quoted 25 for him, and the report came out the day that scared clubs away. So Chalobah and Broja, 75 million they asked for the two of them, and they got neither.
By the way, though, you've got a lot more of this to come, because what your club have done is you've put some of these players on stupid contracts, and no one is paying those wages.
Well, I agree with you to a degree, but then Trev and the other lads, Broja, they're not on big contracts.
They're not, contracts on. But that's why I say you got it to come, because it's one thing you've done. Caicedo. What does he earn? He's on 150, 200, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on one of the higher wages and one.
Where's
of the
he going to go?
Yeah, but Caicedo will be playing for us for years. He's 23.
Do you want him to?
Yes, he's brilliant.
He's been awful.
Mate, honestly, I don't get this. I have to say this, right?
He's been awful.
I have to say this because it does show. Like, Caicedo is one of those players that unless you watch a full 90 minutes, you don't kind of get what he does because he's a
one of those.
Well, like
very subtle.
you're not going to see him.
You're not
going
Jones.
It's like, what's his name? And Mudryk as well is another one of those.
He's like a fine
No,
wine.
don't apologise. You don't apologise to me. Don't you dare stick the knife in. Stick the knife in.
Caicedo
Because
is
his
doing
team are the
stuff.
lowest on the table, man. I do feel sorry.
Stick the knife in.
He should
We
feel
haven't
sorry
had a Poch conversation around this table once today. No one said, is he in trouble?
That's because Ten Hag's going to go way before Poch.
That's ridiculous.
It's not. We've kicked
Game
off.
started.
We are underway here at Anfield. Look, I do agree with what you're saying, Jacob. Like, I think Chelsea gambled on a lot of players. And now Chelsea have had a really actual, healthy and well-run club in that they have obviously, they cheated to get all the money, but they spent the money well, and they were able to keep on, keep on selling players in order to raise funds, and they've just been raising and reinvesting and raising and reinvesting. Ooh. The problem is when you spend so much money on what seems so far like a bunch of players who aren't worth that money, you're then at a deficit, and Chelsea really have to hope, and they've clearly been trying their luck in overquoting, in my opinion, for Chalobah.
I think the difference is, though, lads, is like, if you're trying to offload Rashford, it's very difficult. He's on 350 grand. It's really hard to do that. If we need to offload Mudryk is on 100 grand.
Pardon me? Are you talking about offloading
I'm
Mudryk?
not.
No.
I'm not. I've got a poster of Mikhailo on my wall. I look at it every morning and I give it a little kiss on the cheek.
All the players that you had, I'm surprised that you mentioned that. But that means you're thinking about it. That means it's your head.
No, because this was what Josh was saying from the get-go.
Yes.
Like, we have done well by buying so many young players, but the issue is we kind of had faith in Chelsea because they always do get it right, that they would get it right. But this season has left me with a lot more questions than answers.
Exactly. But this is, like you say, FFP ruined Christmas. It's a different world now.
They're in.
Well done. Alisson collects.
Even compared to last summer. The rules are now, it's pretty simple. You've got 105 million quid plus what you sell. That's basically it now, isn't it, with FFP?
Yeah.
Who pays Mudryk 100 grand a week? Like, where would he go? I know you don't want to sell him, but just hypothetically,
he's not going to go anywhere.
But hypothetically, where would he go?
I mean, a lot of people would take him at 100 grand.
Nonny's on 100.
I think that point that you've just made is kind of it could go under the radar. Like, post FFP being taken seriously.
Yes.
Before, you could afford to fuck up and figure
be
it
fine.
out.
Yeah.
And figure it out. Although obviously Everton took the piss and obviously have bit the dust for that reason. And I'm not saying I think that what happened to that club's all right, but aside from that, you could get away with it. Now, if you've made dud signings, it's the worst climate we could ever be in to try and undo that.
What's going to happen? What's going to change? I think what you underestimate sometimes, these smaller clubs, they don't pay players what you think they do. Like, essentially, the big six is an eco bubble of its own.
Yeah.
Below that, do you know what Ivan Toney earns? We've done this at this table before.
Yeah, 28 grand or something.
28 grand a week.
I did not
That's
know
Brentford.
that.
That's a well-run
I mean, he's fuming at that. Brentford have absolutely done
You can
it.
tell by
Josh,
every
yeah,
interview
Josh,
he
yeah.
does, can't
They're
you?
not paying anyone
Now
else
can I
anyone
understand
more.
the
Yeah, but when he
bets.
goes for Arsenal, he's going to be on 300.
He said, I can understand why he's betting now.
Yeah, innit?
Is that it? 28
It's so
grand?
true.
You got to have an
I'd be off
acca
for
on.
that.
You got to have an acca on. But my point, do you know what I think you're going to see a lot more of going forward? You're going to see sales between the big clubs. You're going to see a lot more of those Havertz-style moves. Arsenal to Chelsea, Chelsea to Man United, Man United to Arsenal. Because we're the only clubs that can afford the wages now.
Yeah. You say that though, but then Broja is going to go to between Fulham or Wolves. We've got
Because he's not
Chalobah.
on the contract. He's not on one of your crazy Todd Bowley
No, but
fucking
we can
lottery
rip those
contracts.
contracts up. The fact of the matter is, mate,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's
you
very easy. It's much easier to offload someone with 100 grand a week than it is to offload someone at 350.
Not if he's shit.
You got me there, KG. Fuck.
On
the only
the
club
topic, though, obviously, like you said, you watch Chelsea week in, week out. How has he been playing? Because it seems to me, and I might be wrong,
Who are we talking about?
your boy, Mudryk,
Kylo, yeah.
how is he playing? Because I don't think he's starting that many games.
Well, and you might remember my next Nigel Farage moment. I had a little bet with you and Joey. He wouldn't get 9 Premier League goals.
How's he getting on?
He's getting on all right, He's scoring goals. Let's not worry about the number.
Is he playing?
I think the fact of the matter is that he isn't playing that often. But what is interesting when I do look at the stats, and I'm a stats man.
Yes.
When I look at the stats and you look at the per game data and you look at the per game expected assists or the per game expected goals, he's up there with Raheem Sterling. So brilliant challenge by Badiashile there. So if you look at it per game, per the amount of minutes he has.
Actually, you're right. Looking at it now, right? So he's had 9 starts and 8 substitute appearances, 3 goals and 1 assist. It's not great. It's not horrendous though. But I think the thing that we can tell by this is the manager doesn't fancy him, and it's getting his appearances. And this would concern me of spending that much money. His appearances are getting less frequent, not more frequent.
No.
And at his age, they should be getting more frequent. So that's a lot of money to have gambled.
It's the funny thing with
He's
Poch
in.
and Chelsea.
He's in. Oh, Darwin!
Darwin flicked
He's
it, tried
so
to flick the keeper,
rubbish.
but he couldn't manage it.
He's
Well, mate, I was with you, KG, for a long time about Darwin being rubbish, and I've had some stick from Liverpool fans for this. I have to say, Darwin's growing on me a bit.
Why?
Why? Because do you know what? He kind of is rubbish, but he's relentless with it at the same time.
He keeps
doesn't
trying.
stop running, and he stretches
true.
teams out. And honestly, I think part of the reason Salah's having such a good season is because Núñez is just dragging people away. I think that's a big reason they play him on the left.
Sterling inside. Real chance for Chelsea. Surely
It's
it's a penalty! No penalty! How
He's
sort
not
of
the
giving
He's
it?
just
That's a
connected
pen.
with him.
Oh my
They're
God.
gonna look at it.
Penalty.
No, they're gonna
They
look
will
at it again. They'll look at it again.
They will 100% look at it. So basically,
Gallagher's
Gallagher's gone into the
But this
penalty
is
area and been
Liverpool.
tripped. Let's watch this. Does he get contact
This
here?
is Liverpool.
Yes.
Oh, it was
To be
It's a
honest,
bit
Van Dijk
soft.
bit soft actually.
it does
bit
look like he
soft.
plays for it on the replay.
But then we got Man City got one of those against United, and it was the most ridiculous decision ever.
Honestly, in real time, it looked a stonewaller. On the replay, it does not look like a penalty.
Yeah, well, the ball is about to go out of play, so we'll see if it goes to VAR.
Let's have a
I
look.
mean, they're going to look at it, aren't they? They didn't show the second replay here, which I want to see.
Knee on knee there.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't
You
think so.
criminal.
He's looking for it.
You criminal. Crimes against football.
Was it?
I think he's died.
That's
Yeah.
not honest.
Can I just say, Josh?
So convincing, to be
It
fair.
was convincing.
Academy Award for that.
Yeah.
I don't mind your front. I think what he's doing at the front line isn't bad. It's exactly what you did against Arsenal, and
Yeah.
similar to
You say that though, mate. We've seen in the cup games of Chelsea recently, and we basically didn't score against Borough with that formation.
But-
it's like I've got a little bit of Jacob. I've got a bit of PTSD.
But when you look at this Liverpool team,
Love it.
do you really want to let Broja go up there and just
I
get
would
sucked
prefer-
in, get
I would
sucked
prefer.
in by Canate Partey and Van Dijk.
I'd prefer
'Cause all
Broja
that's
to be
going to
signed.
happen is just swallows them alive.
No, I think that's a good point.
At least with Gallagher and Palmer, they move away from the centre-backs, and so the centre-backs got no one to mark. And so when the wide players run in, which is your game plan,
Yeah.
is for your wide players to run inwards.
Mate, if Nkunku was starting in the false nine, I would totally agree with you. When it's Cole Palmer, I disagree. So basically, Cole Palmer has started twice in the last 5 games in the false nine role, and what he hasn't been able to do is convert number 9 chances. Like, he's had 3 sitters against Borough that he didn't convert. He had a lot of chances against Villa as well, and he hasn't scored them. Whereas when he's in the number 10 role or in a wing role, there's less pressure and he thinks about it less,
But
and so he gets
formationally, do you not like? I'm thinking back to Manchester United. Oh,
that's
it's
brilliant.
Nunes.
Oh!
Why
what
is
a
it over?
shot.
He could have taken it closer.
But this is the thing with Nunes. What I was saying, he's just a volume player.
Yeah.
Like, how many minutes gone? 7 minutes. He's had 2 good shots. Like, not good shots, but he's had 2 opportunities.
This is a big chance he should have carried on going.
He'll have about 6 of them in a game, and his numbers aren't great.
Score 1.
I mean, 7 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League with,
the bar.
with
It's not
12
bad.
starts.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
At Liverpool, though, with the chances that they create, if you look how many he's missed, he should be gone clear. He should be getting Haaland numbers.
On the formation thing, like for me, we started Isak against Liverpool, who always plays well. Like he scores every time he plays against Liverpool. And yet again, we felt isolated, and we really needed that extra man to come away with a point. So even though Isak scored, I look back at it and you think Ten Hag's shite, but he parked the bus and he got away with a fucking point.
Exactly.
We fought them,
Smart.
and we tried to
Well,
punch them.
I said that to you at the end of the game, didn't I? I said. And I was sat there watching this game with you, and I was saying to you, I actually quite like the way Newcastle are approaching this, trying to go at them, but it don't work. This
The
is the whole
referee
thing.
fucked us as well, but yeah, I think there's certain teams that you go to that you kind of have to think, are we really going to try and win this year?
What Liverpool do, and this is, I will miss Klopp for this, because Arsenal play a certain way and Pep plays a certain way where it's all about control. It's all about get your high line as high as you can, squeeze the opposition back. Whereas what I quite like the Liverpool do, they go, you know what, make the pitch big, spread everyone out a bit, and you know what, we'll take our chances because we've got the best centre-backs in the league and we've got the best keeper.
It's more entertaining than Pep.
It's much
football.
more entertaining,
Yeah.
but it's the reason that Darwin Núñez gets 6 shots a game is because look at where the balls are coming to him from. Look at where Chelsea's line is.
Honestly,
they
I
let you
think
come forward.
Newcastle basically have modelled our whole style on this.
But I do enjoy watching Eddie Howe's football.
Same
but
for
then
me
it's
too.
it's gung ho, and when you don't get the result, it's sad for you lot because it's like, oh, you lot don't deserve this. But then
We make a fight of it. Which, as a fan, do you know what the thing? It's the hope that kills you. But at least we have hope. I like going back to that Man United Liverpool game. As much as I can give credit that you actually got more out of the game than we do.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, aside from that one chance for Højlund, there was no mentality of we're going to try and win this game. Whereas we actually were trying to win it.
You're running through a few times.
But then if you don't get nothing, it means
There was an offside goal. There was other opportunities where players were offside.
But you have to play the odds and go, right, do we actually, on average, do you want to turn up away from home and go for it? And honestly, I kind of would rather do that. Like, even if we do have those devastating feelings, at least then as a fan, you feel alive during the fucking game. Do you know what I mean?
See, like the start of this game, like what we 10 minutes in so far.
What a touch.
You'd almost feel like Chelsea have kind of had
They're
as
in
much
here.
as Liverpool.
So it's like
Now it's getting
goes
dangerous
wide.
now.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Diaz.
There
Is
it
he going to shoot?
What is that?
That
What
was
What was
that?
that shot?
That was not good.
Caicedo's up for this game. Obviously, bearing in mind that
Doesn't
Liverpool
win
were
that. Doesn't
so
win that.
in for it.
Good tackle, Caicedo. Actually.
Oh, that's
Was that a foul? It didn't look like a
full-blooded
foul.
tackle.
A yellow card for that?
For
What
who?
was for Caicedo?
I thought it was Núñez
for
who was
Núñez
charging.
that's getting that.
Yeah.
Wait, well, let's watch this. What you saying,
What-
lads?
what
Where's
has
the
he
yellow
done
card
here?
come from?
I honestly
What's
don't
it
know.
for? Was it for this?
Was it a hold on?
Holding. But I
I mean-
looked at this
I thought it
Núñez
was
tackle.
this.
What's
That's
this?
clean.
Bam!
I didn't
No,
see
no,
it.
no.
Tackle.
Nothing in that is a
I
yellow
wouldn't
card.
say yellow card there at all. And the saddest bit about it is, if you're a centre midfielder in a hot game like this where people are fucking going in for tackles, you can't afford a yellow for nothing. It just ruins the
That
game.
wasn't
it
fair.
How funny was that day when Liverpool fought? It was because Caicedo's coming in, and then it broke down. It's the one of the
He would have been so
funniest
good for them
days.
as well.
Jude Bellingham, they fucking had a house
that
picnic
was-
for him. You know what I mean? It was bad. That I didn't know a single Liverpool fan who didn't think that was happening.
Little bit of speculation here. Obviously, Klopp said he's out. Klopp said he's going into the season, and he's saying he's tired. Do you think he feels a bit less tired if he gets Jude Bellingham?
No, but that's actually.
I'm serious. I'm
Let's-
serious. I'm serious.
Let's put that in the right.
Yeah.
Half time, we'll go through that because I think that's a very valid point. That we
Because like Liverpool are top of the table, so I'm not going to criticise them. And as I just say, I like the way they play, and I like the fact that, as I've just said to you, it feels like Chelsea are in this game, but you know you're not. Because if you carry on like this, their attackers will kill you, and their defenders will keep you out. But I look at the Liverpool midfield on paper, and I'm sorry, Caicedo gets in that team, Bellingham gets in that team. You do have to wonder if Klopp, and we'll talk about it more at half time, but if Klopp could have got those transfer targets that he was desperate for, maybe he fancies this rebuild a little bit more.
Well, Chelsea are keeping the possession a bit better here, but fuck me. I mean, Liverpool are like fucking rats onto them
They're
all
just
over the
on them.
Yeah,
They're just.
Do you know who I've got to give credit for while we're watching this kind of football? Luton. Fucking hell, the way they came out
Yeah, man.
yesterday. God knows what they sniffed because they came out the traps.
They came out.
I actually
They got the
felt
same phone numbers as Bellingham, man.
I felt sorry
Belfast
for.
finest.
I felt fucking sorry for Brighton because you could see they were thinking, yeah, we'll just ticky-tack of this. And Luton were like, fuck all that, mate. 2 goals by 3 minutes. Nunes shot wide
another
again.
shot.
Third shot,
Can't tell
30
me.
minutes.
Yeah, but that was mile out.
can't tell me.
That was a dumb shot.
But that's how they play, Josh.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how
not
they
good,
play.
though. That's not
Especially with no Salah. Like, he's
That's
the
not
focal
good. That's-
point.
That's taking the piss.
But
Chill
Kakey,
out,
I'm
just
with you,
done a
bruv.
stupid
I've been on this show all year saying that's not good, that's stupid. They're top of the league.
But that's ridiculous, though.
That was a
Bring players in, but he does that. He's a man. He's a
That's what
madman.
he does.
Yeah.
That's why I think he's rubbish.
Speaking
You'll
of,
learn
well, we're talking about Luton there, sorry. The relegation battle, lads. It's
You know.
turning a bit, with Everton dropping that point now, Luton coming good, Barkley looking so good. for
Luton will be fine. Luton will be fine. They're too good. Every time they play a good team, they score goals. They score goals against Liverpool, they score goals against us, score goals against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Mate, there are 2 teams that I think are dreadful: Sheffield United and Burnley.
They're gone.
Can we all agree they're
Yeah,
gone?
I think they're gone.
But
They're
don't
on,
forget
just for
Nottingham
clarity,
Forest
they're on 22. So Sheffield United 22 games, 10 points. Burnley 22 games, 12 points. So they feel like they're very far off. The next one beyond that is Everton, 22 games, 18 points. They're already 6 points ahead of the other 2 teams. So yeah, I think it's quite clear that those 2.
So it's one more that's going to go.
I think it's one of the relegation ones that one of the guys that got the 10-point deduction coming. I think you can't put it. Is that going to happen this season? If
So
Potentially,
obviously, Everton have already had the 10 docked. Josh, do you know the situation with the 10 that's already been taken and what's happening with Everton and Nottingham Forest right now?
So Everton right now are appealing the initial 10-point deduction, and there is a sort of a rumour going around by which that they won't actually get 10 points. It will more likely be 6 on appeal or something similar to that, right? And that can make a huge amount of difference. Now, the complicating factor is when this subsequent punishment comes in, because obviously Everton have also been punished for another set of rule breaches, and they will be sanctioned for that. So at the moment, we don't actually know
Forest, right?
as have Forest. So we don't actually know where both of those teams are going to go. I have to say, you look at Forest, and they are perilous down there, especially if they do get, if they got 4 or 6
They
points,
can't afford that.
they're on 20 points after 22 games. So say they got a 6-point deduction, they would be only 2 points above Burnley. So they would be right down there. So I have to say, if Forest keep playing the way they do, they've just sacked the manager, they've got Nuno Espirito Santo in there as a new guy. They look like they're slightly better, but they're still not
They're not
getting
safe.
points.
Do you know what's
So-
mad about this? Like we're saying, Luton probably could survive given how exciting the football is, and they've just battered Brighton. It feels like Everton and Forest are the next 2 outside of
Yes.
Palace and Bournemouth right now.
Yeah.
So let's just say Everton and Forest. It could literally be the punishment from the Premier League
gonna do it.
that decides.
100%.
Let's say one punishment is worse than the other. The Premier League could decide who goes down and not the football.
And you know what's so crazy about that? Ever since this has happened, you've seen the reducer in the January market. Everyone's been like, oh, we skirted. Wenger's been talking about FFP for the longest. So he must be having his Nigel Farage moment at home saying he's
You're all
mentioned
after me.
FFP. But finally, it's the fact that they're bringing down these sanctions. Finally, they're saying, hey, if you've done that, if there's been a breach anywhere, and I honestly feel that I think it's going to be Nottingham Forest that won't be able to deal with it. I think whatever happens with Everton, if they get that 6 points, I think Everton just might scrape it.
Yeah.
But Forest, I worry
Forest
for
have
it.
got 2 points more than Everton right now, but obviously in reality,
At 10 points.
Everton would have had 6 points
Way
more.
more.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other teams we maybe should mention.
Go on then.
Palace don't look good. Palace don't look good.
They'll get over the line.
I think they will get over the line, but look, let's say that for whatever reason those point deductions get rescinded. Palace could get sucked in.
They're not going to get rescinded though. They're not going to get wiped off.
They might
be
get reduced. They might get reduced.
Yeah, but
The thing about Palace is they've got a
6 points
couple
clear.
of players who you look at and think you're too
Elise.
good. Like you won't.
Elise is so good.
No, do you know what? There's a few at Forest as well, man. Like, obviously, we played Forest last night. Morgan Gibbs-White is a player.
Oh, mate, I
Morgan
love him
Gibbs-White
at
is a
Newcastle.
player. Danilo, Brazilian
Kinda-
centre midfielder.
kinda
He's a player.
Yeah.
They've got some decent players. Everton as well.
So we were going to try and get rid of Almiron for that kid, Morgan Gibbs-White. Mate.
I know, but am I
What happened with Almiron?
Oh, he loves the Newcastle climate, mate. He likes the food. He likes the fans.
No, we did, mate. We gave him a new contract after the first good season in 5 years, and I was like, "What are you doing?
man.
He's
What-
comfy.
This is when you sell him after he's had one good
He's
season."
in again.
Nunes
Look at this.
again.
Watch this.
Oh, the poor
Petrovic,
Nunes!
what a save!
17
And this is
minutes
why he'll be
gone.
the number
4
one.
shots within 18 minutes.
This
for
is-
Nunes.
I think it's 5 shots. It's 5 shots. This
This
is
is
it.
fucking up.
Mate, can we
He's-
just say though, Nunes unbelievable shot, but what a save this was! Give him some credit, lads. This is our backup goalkeeper apparently. Petrovic gets down. He's been playing in the MLS, and he's just done an unbelievable save.
Oh
This
no!
guy,
Oh no! I must be watching from home going, I could
Oh
never,
no,
never do that.
It gets. It's
guys,
just.
mate, we'll get on there.
£12.5 million we paid for this guy. What a player!
Josh, you're never going to get credit for your transfer policy.
yeah. He's trying to get Rick in.
I was waiting. I was going out.
He was
Don't
waiting.
try.
4 fucking 20 minutes and one of them looks decent. He's fucking singing.
He's
his-
got a 9-year contract and he earns more than the manager, I suspect.
He's an unbelievable.
Oh, quick feet there.
But this, mate, it's Liverpool football, and I've honestly had to learn to love it this season because the amount of times I watch them, I go, "There's holes in this team," and then I've learned this is what they do. They play a great big pitch, they stretch things out, they play direct.
Dive.
What is going on here? There's some
Soboslai's
weird
just
stuff
throwing himself
going
on
on.
the floor there. Like, come on.
There's some weird stuff going on.
Absolutely
Going
ridiculous.
back to Forest though, like I have to say, right, if they end up going down, I'm worried for Forest. They've made about 40 transfers in the last 4 windows.
Yeah.
They've spent so much money. Those players are also on big wages,
Well,
by the
yeah,
way.
it's interesting.
They'll all have
Parachute.
contract clauses though.
They
will.
don't.
Really?
No, a lot of the Forest players don't. Have
You know what? Only reason I said
Yeah,
that's because of the way they handled Jesse Lingard's ass.
a lot of
Yeah.
them. A lot of
Like,
them.
that poor guy was out the door.
Well, it's interesting. I was reading about the way their sort of court appeal against the point deduction. What they were saying is they were trying to get Brennan Johnson out the door, and he was going to go to Brentford, and he didn't want to go. And if they'd have got him out the door then, because it's the 30th of June is the deadline, isn't it, for these things? It's not the end of the transfer window. And they ended up selling him much later in the transfer window to Spurs. So that 45 million quid that they got from Spurs doesn't count towards their...
I heard,
that's
but I heard that it wasn't him deciding that he didn't want to go there. It was more they wanted to get more money out of
He's
him.
in.
They knew they could do that later in the window.
Lovely bit of skill there.
But it-
Lifts it. Back post.
Well done,
No one's
Jimmy.
there. Is he going to
There's no one
shoot?
pressuring him here. Corner.
This is the thing, man. If Liverpool are a volume team, they must have had about 7-8 shots already.
They have.
The one thing I will say about all these FFP stuff, first of all, when you look at the Premier League and you go, what needs to be done FFP-wise? My first thought isn't Nottingham Forest.
Nah.
My first thought isn't when Brennan
City.
Johnson makes his move. It's Manchester City.
It's City.
The other thing, you and I were texting about this the other day. We've both done some reading about this.
Yeah.
Brian, guess how many people working in the Premier League look into FFP matters? Guess how big their team is?
5.
I'm going to just be cheeky and say 6.
They got 3 people.
Wow.
They got 3 people.
When the whole of Premier League.
Newcastle are owned by a country.
Can we just say we've got more people here?
And we have been looking at the numbers as well, by the way. We have been looking
I don't
at
want
the
to talk to you about that. Actually, Josh.
Yeah.
There's more people doing invoices at True Geordie HQ than there are in the Premier League.
And we're fucking on time with those invoices.
And you're trying to
Oh, they're
catch
brilliant.
Pep.
I want to say they're brilliant.
It's crazy.
That is
It's
fucking
crazy. But I kind of mean it seriously, though. I kind of mean it seriously. Like I don't think we know that Everton have broken rules. We know that Forest have broken rules. They shouldn't be able to. But the elephant in the room is Manchester City. The elephant in the room is that we're sleepwalking
And
into a
Chelsea.
Bundesliga.
Don't worry about that,
And
Kenji.
Chelsea
Don't
are
worry
the
about
elephant.
that.
I don't worry
We
about
don't want to lead them out.
I don't
Chelsea,
worry about it because they're
elephant.
idiots. As long as the people doing the financial...
Oh, they're looking at it again. They're saying it's a...
Mate, we
There
grasped
was some
ourselves up.
contact, by the way, going back to Gallagher.
Tiny.
But I don't know if it was enough to bring him down.
Yeah.
I just do any of us have any hope that they're going to catch City for these charges? Because there've been reports recently that if City were to get punished for the charges, they'd get relegated.
And not,
So what?
not just relegated once, like several.
No.
No, but let's just say, right, for the sake of argument with this FFP shit, City get relegated.
I love
so
it.
what? Let's think
That's
about
great.
This.
We get a
let's think about
reprieve
it.
of Pep.
When Marcus Rashford thought, do I really give a fuck about Ten Hag and I'm going to enjoy this fucking night out? It's exactly right. With Man City, they go, we're going to win 6 out of 7 Premier League titles. First time ever it's happened. We get relegated the next season. We come straight back the season after. We're
Win it
back,
again.
guys. Like, who gives a shit?
Well,
But
that's
then
got 7
hopefully,
titles.
the Pep says it's really difficult for him in the Championship and all these other leagues, and he says he's got to step down like Klopp does.
No.
Surely he steps
Pep
down
would
at the
love
moment.
to be a martyr
Yeah.
because Pep still wants to come back up and go. I've still got more money than all you fuckers. So
Yeah,
what? I
yeah.
got 1 season out. Not a problem.
Well, there was interesting news today. Liverpool have, first of all, they approached Michael Edwards to take over the sporting director role to try and go over the sort of rebuild they need to do, and he doesn't want to do it.
Was he the one that was there before?
Yeah. The other rumour is that
Oh my goodness!
Jota's just
No!
Oh, Jota! He's run
He's
through
different.
the centre of the fucking
He's
park. It was
different.
shocking.
He's different.
he's
You
one
know
of the
what?
best finishers in the league.
Yeah, but
he's
come
one
on.
of the best finishers
Chelsea.
in the league.
That was
This
poor
wasn't
defending.
good enough. This was weak.
No,
from
but
Chelsea.
I think that's just really good football. He's
that was weak, mate.
Jota's different, man.
Mate, he just walked through the centre of the defence.
Jota's just
No
different.
way. You boot the fuck out of him before he does that. Like,
How though? He was just languishing at Wolves, and he's such a great player. And look, you know, without Salah, because that's the future in it, and it's Jota.
I
really.
don't know. Like,
You don't think so? Look at this.
No, I think he's a
Since
good
he's
player.
come back,
It's look at Nunez's run. Watch it again.
Oh, that is
Oh,
shocking.
what
forget
has
about
he
the run
done
after
there?
that. He's just done
And
it.
it's Thiago
It's
Silva,
horrible
which is
defending,
so
but watch
weird.
what
How much
Nunez
is Benoit
does.
better shield? How much was that?
I
Was
mean,
that 50 to 60
again,
million?
Again, probably 105. So let's not worry about the number. That's
Mate,
it's,
that's schoolboy errors, that man.
it's
Come
bounced
on.
up here, hasn't it? And it's hit. Has it hit
It's
a
hit
hand?
bad a shield on the hand, I think.
Do- is
Penalty.
it- Yeah. There was a hand involved. I don't know whose hand it was.
Jota's a good player, but that's not
Oh, yeah,
good
it's
enough
bad
from the
issues,
defending.
But
That
he
is
just had a
pathetic.
I
plan.
mean, it's
He
one
had
of
a
those
plan.
goals that it's just like it's fell for you very
It's-
nice.
it's- Horrendous
I think the goalkeeper should have done better, though, don't you?
Oh, no, I don't know.
I heard they paid 15 million quid for him.
12 and a half, mate. 12 and a half. Get your fucking facts.
I love the fact that every time any goalkeeper like, get
Thiago
anything,
Silva.
you're on Onana's side the whole time, aren't you?
Oh, I hate that.
Oh,
no.
guys, VAR are looking at this.
That's taking the piss.
Imagine if
hilarious.
this gets
What
ruled
for?
out.
Oh, for the handball.
It's for the handball.
Oh, the
Oh,
offside.
offside. Oh, clearly interfering with play. Look at Darwin Nunez's run.
No, check it for
Look at the
possible-
run.
Oh, it's the
What is this for? Handball.
A handball, yeah.
Nah, come on.
Well, it hit someone's
But
hand.
it hit
we
Paddy
seen
Shield's
it hit
hand.
a hand, but we couldn't quite
I think
say.
this is a goal, lads.
Actually, I'm trying to forgive. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think
Goal.
it's a goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
I
they're
think
giving
it
it
is.
goal. It's Anfield, mate. You're not getting shit.
VAR.
Yeah.
No, Liverpool.
No, if there's any club,
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Man,
Oh my god.
gurning
why
like
he's
it's
tired
3 a.m. in
again.
Berlin.
That's why it's-
I can't say nothing about this guy.
You
Oh,
can't.
fuck
You
it.
can't.
This is the thing with Liverpool, mate. Do you know, to give you a boxer's analogy, yeah, is they just jab so often.
Yeah.
That when that
gonna
overhand comes, like it's just going to land.
Yeah.
And if you watch that back again, like Nunez makes about 3 runs behind. It sends Badashil all over the place, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Mate, it's one of the hardest teams to play because they suffocate you with pressure, and it's. You have
at
to.
them
I mean,
now.
look, I know there was all those rumours about the inhalers. Apparently, like 80% of the Liverpool team were on fucking steroid inhalers.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, with how much they outrun everybody, you wouldn't be shocked. But it's the hardest team to
Lance
play
Armstrong's.
for me. Like, I think I felt more in the game against City than I did against Liverpool.
I have to say as well, right? Like I've watched Chelsea a lot this season, and there's not been a team that has pressed us this aggressively. And Chilwell has already made 2 quite bad mistakes where they've been in on goal. Obviously, he gave the ball away there, and we haven't had a team do that to us pretty much all season. Like City were very good at it, but Liverpool are
Liverpool
a
have
level
never
above.
lost from a winning position.
Yeah, it's game over.
Scoring first, since 2017.
It's game over.
What we're talking about is all Klopp stuff, isn't it? It's the pressing, the relentless attacks. It's Klopp stuff. So
Yeah.
what do they do after him?
Well, that's what half time in it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that
Yeah,
discussion.
I'll be honest, I think we're looking at it now, lads. Let's fucking.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's
might as
get
well
in
get
for
into
it.
So,
They're finished.
I mean, it just feels like Liverpool are bossing this. So
It's ruined.
So yeah, Jurgen Klopp has announced his resignation at the end of the season. Why do you think he's resigning, lads? Let's just assume it isn't a health-related reason. Fingers crossed. Even though I did want to punch him in the head once upon a time. Like, let's just say,
Metaphorically.
fingers crossed.
Think of the
it's nothing.
sponsors.
Seriously, do you know why he's leaving?
Let's just suggest why it is.
Oh, my brother. Man United brought in the new CEO, and he thought, I'm not going to do that shit.
Why, lads? Because
Well,
I can offer up a suggestion for myself.
Go on.
Mo Salah's leaving at the end of the season, and he knows that he managed just to convince him for one more season. And in my opinion, as good as Liverpool are looking right now, even without Mo Salah, with Mo Salah, it's still almost impossible to win a title against Man City.
Yeah.
Without Mo Salah, it is impossible in my opinion. And I think that Klopp has put blood, sweat and tears into this Liverpool side for a long, long time now. And for me, I've actually seen a mental decline in him, which is what I was actually and more annoyed about over the years. Was I used to really like Jurgen Klopp when he came, but now I look at him and how miserable he can be consistently on the sidelines.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And looking at the way he's been so aggressive to that news reporter, and so many moments of like aggression that I think that is we've seen it with Mourinho. When you keep going up against an unwinnable force like Pep and all that money, it grinds you down. And look, he should have a dynasty of trophies right now, Klopp. He will not have what he deserves to have because of that. And I think he looks at this season like, realistically, energy-wise, I'm getting older. Do I have what it takes to rebuild all over again without Mo Salah? This is my last big go of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one. I think even
A little bit like Fergie, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Back then.
Fergie managed to. That's why I think he's a psycho, because how many years was he at the helm? And
But
he
what I
kept
mean
on
is,
rebuilding.
last season,
time.
he knew, I'm winning it this season, but
And
there's
I
a
can't take this
rebuild
guy on.
coming, and I
can't
need
do
to go.
this. Yeah, absolutely. I think it took the wind out of the Liverpool fans. That quadruple thing, which was so close, it was so possible. It doesn't happen. And even like when Poch got to like Champions League final, he needed gardening leave. He said, enough's enough for me. I think to drive your team that way and then to lose out, and you're losing out to a team that it just keeps getting better. You're like, even as you think, we just about met them, they go up another level.
Pep has spent something like 4 times what Jurgen Klopp has.
That's what it is.
It's impossible to keep
Yeah.
You
going.
can't keep up with
and
them.
he knows that they're not going to be able to compete.
Well, there was a quote that, and you got to remember, it's not just in England. He had exactly the same thing in Germany. At Dortmund,
Same shit.
and the same manager. He was up against Guardiola again, and the exact quote when he was in Dortmund, he said, it's like, we've got a bow and arrow, and if you aim a bow and arrow correctly, you can do a bit of damage. But Munich have got a bazooka.
Yeah.
and he's come to the Premier League,
And they can take up
and
players.
never mind bazookas. Man City have got tanks.
Yeah.
and
It's never been a level playing field.
It's
has
never
it?
been a level play, and I think the tragedy of Klopp's career, because I honestly think you could make the argument he could be a better manager than Pep because of the resources he's done things with. I'm not sure I'd make that argument. You could make it though. The tragedy of his career, he's going to look back on 15, 20 years of work, and there's not enough trophies there because he's been up against like Goliath every single time. And you look at last summer. Let's be honest. We spent all of last season thinking he was going to get Bellingham. We all thought he was going to get Bellingham. And you look at what Bellingham is doing. Like what you're saying about Salah. If you got a bow and arrow, that's your magic one. That's the one you can hit, right? That's Bellingham. Bellingham is your game changer. It's your difference maker. It's, you know what, spend whatever money you want because I got Bellingham. And on his day, he'll beat everyone. He didn't get it.
But Bellingham was meant to go to Real Madrid, man. When he
No, but
maybe,
but
KG, we all thought he was going to Liverpool.
Yeah.
We remember the England camp last World Cup. Like, mate, Henderson and Trent Alexander-Arnold were walking around like they were bouncers with Bellingham.
Yeah.
We all thought he was going there. I think Klopp must have thought it for a little while. Maybe Bellingham's entourage always wanted Madrid, but I certainly think there was a period where Klopp.
Oh, who did that?
That was Jones. And it's a good save again. This goalkeeper's had a good game, and it's to keep it a 1-0.
I mean, I did tell you guys. He's a good goalkeeper.
I think it's tragic that Klopp's league. I honestly do. He winds me up, and I hope he finds himself a league where the wind doesn't blow and the grass isn't too long, and he can never get upset by the things he gets upset
Or the
by.
kick-off
now.
times.
The kick-off times, Saturday kick-off.
And I hope
He's
all the
hated
referees
Christmas.
consistently give it everything his way.
Yeah. Even more
He's
so.
hated Christmas as well. He's hated that. Like,
But at the same time, Klopp's the only reason that Man City haven't got 7 Premier Leagues out of 7.
And obviously,
and corruption.
And the corruption as well. Let's be real. Even if Pep was in this league with just even, I don't know, to be able to spend double the money Klopp could, it would have been closer then. Like for the amount of money Pep was spending ahead of Klopp, for Klopp to only miss out on titles by a meager few points here and there, you're thinking, if you both had the same wallets, there's no way Klopp wouldn't have dominated, in my opinion. I don't even like Klopp, and I still think he would have fucking dominated.
Well, and the other thing, when they did win their title, it was lockdown. And
that's
when you it is
That's
hilarious, but when you
hilarious.
think about
The people
when you-
dying wasn't hilarious.
No.
No.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
just in case. I just want to say apologies if anyone thought that was what I meant.
Yeah.
I was just talking about not being able to celebrate because social distancing.
and I miss my nan, but at the same time,
Brutal.
I can see why he looks at this and he's fed up.
This
and
is the last
he's
goal.
done. And look, there's a big rebuild to be done there. There's a big it's not just.
He's left them in a great position.
It's not, mate. It's not just Salah. Like everyone's
Virgil van Dijk's
Virgil
contract
van
up in
Dijk?
18 months,
Virgil van
so
Dijk?
he couldn't obviously think about his options. I mean,
Trent
and also
Trent's
one of the
18
main
months,
pulls at that time was to sign for Jurgen Klopp. It's not to say that Liverpool aren't a great club,
Yes.
but they weren't viewed as the giant he has restored them to.
Yeah.
Now Liverpool are one of the biggest clubs in the world again, and for the majority of my life, I looked at them as like a former giant until
ruined.
Klopp got a hold of them again.
Yes.
They're going to get a Galactico manager though next. Like
Doesn't matter.
that is going to be a
Who
massive
do you think they
managerial
get, George? Do
appointment.
you think they get Xabi Alonso?
I do. I think that's the one that's just written in
Do you know?
stars,
Do you
isn't it?
know the question I'd ask about Xabi Alonso? You look at how, like, I think a lot of people go, yeah, he's top of the league in the Bundesliga, get him. I don't think anyone actually looks at the way he plays football. He plays a 3-4-2-1. Yeah. What do you do with Trent Alexander-Arnold with that?
I mean,
Is he a wing back again, suddenly?
Well, Trent could play anywhere in that system, couldn't he?
Where?
He could play as a wing back, or he could play as a centre mid.
It's not how he's played this
I think
season.
you lot are missing the elephant in the room, as you lot have mentioned in this game. Liverpool suffocate teams. To lose a manager like that, this is their Fergie, this is their Wenger, this is the main guy.
This is what I'm saying.
It's not
I've
going to
got
be
a question
This is
about
what
the
I'm saying.
timing, though. He's announced this. Obviously, it was January when he announced it. Will this make them more or less likely to win a title?
It helps them.
For me, it's more.
This
way
helps them. This
Yeah.
helps them.
Why?
They're doing it for their
Because in history,
yeah.
when you know a manager's going, players usually feel like they're less likely to. Now I know Klopp's an anomaly, right? He's a legendary manager.
Yeah.
But so, it doesn't always help.
Well, do you remember Fergie? Fergie in 2002 said he was going to leave at the end of the season. Then Arsenal win the league, and he was fed up and he went, "Fuck it, I'm staying a bit longer."
He's not
it doesn't
losing on
always work. I think if there's one thing Klopp has done incredibly
Penalty! What?
Ah!
No way he's
Ref!
giving it against
Yeah,
us.
yellow.
He's booking him for a dive.
Ref!
Oh, they've got. Oh, he's taken
Ref!
it as well. It must
Gotta
have been a
check the
dive.
on-field decision. You got to look at the on-field
No,
decision
he's
there.
taken it. Chilwell's
You can't
laughed
even
it off.
Wait.
Chilwell's body language says that's a dive.
Oh, naughty Chilwell.
He's kicked out with him there, though, hasn't he? Look,
He's not made contact.
he's not made contact.
Oh, you scumbag.
So is the whole table saying Jurgen Klopp saying it now helps their title
Helps.
chance?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to say, the reason why I say absolutely is because Liverpool fan, that guy's getting a statue. That guy is Mr. Liverpool. They're going to want to see him off good. And those players, they're going to run through Brit. I've seen these players come back from international duty early just for Jurgen Klopp. So now he said he's going. I think that's something that gives them the impetus. It's like what happened with Pep when they announced the charges.
So when you
And
like,
he just
when
went-
you like the manager, you won't fuck him around, right?
He's done this whole chat just to get you on that.
He's got me there.
Yeah.
Ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
I have to say,
We got him.
the other fact that I would say, Brian, is that the Anfield crowd is going to be electric every single game.
always
They've got it's going to be
It
another
gets quiet.
level.
It gets
It's
quiet,
going to be
mate.
another level when they're sending off Jurgen, the manager that has been so elite for them. It's just going to completely change things from that perspective.
Question though, in terms of like we've talked about how unfair it was in Klopp in terms of the monster that he was up against in Man City and Pep. Is he a legend in the Premier League?
Klopp.
Because, and I'm just playing devil. I'm tending to lean yes, but one Premier League trophy to be a Premier League legend, is that what does that qualify? I mean, Claudio Ranieri got one.
Claudio did that.
Conte got 2.
What level do you place him as in maybe the top 5 Premier League managers ever? Do you put him in there?
I mean, he won everything, didn't he? He won every trophy he could possibly win.
Champions
But
League.
obviously, people are always going to go back to one Premier League title, and I'm just wondering if if you guys would hold that against them or not.
When you've lost
I
so
would.
narrowly, but when you've lost it so narrowly to a team that have the amount of charges that Man City have, I mean, there is an argument to say that if they are convicted Man City and we go through this process, some of those titles should be looked at. Like to win on 1 point.
Well, I'm just saying for context. Obviously, Mourinho got 3 or 4. Wenger got 3.
Yeah.
So
we know who the daddy is.
Yeah, obviously, Pep has got God knows how many. Sir Alex has got God knows how many.
so my
does he make it into that top 5?
My list would be Fergie top, Pep second, Wenger third. Maybe Klopp fourth. Maybe.
Wait, say your list again.
Fergie top,
Yeah,
Pep second,
yeah.
Wenger third.
You don't put Jose above Wenger.
No, because Wenger did
You
something
gotta
no
put-
one else has done, whereas Jose
Are they
only did
invincible?
things that other people had done.
I mean,
What? 'Cause
15 goals.
Jose though.
Regardless, you've got you've got Jose and Conte, who
Jose,
both won
though.
more Premier League titles. If I'm right thinking, do you say Conte got 2?
Do what do you say?
think
Jose
Conte got
done
one.
things.
Conte got 1, right? Ancelotti got 1.
I think Conte got
Ancelotti
two.
got 1. Klopp
How
got
many
1.
Premier League titles did Conte
I
get?
think he only got 1.
Was it only
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
So Mourinho got 3. What's it? 3 or 4? Was it 3?
Mourinho's good.
Let's
just check.
Let's
I
just
think
say
it's 3. I
A
think
minimum
it's
3. So Mourinho got 3 times the Premier League trophies, and you're putting Klopp above him.
The reason I am is
You can't do that.
because but Mourinho did it when Chelsea were basically what Man City are now.
That's naughty. That you
Che-
know that he made that a fortress.
I think
you
that's
couldn't go
not fair.
Stamford Bridge.
But Che-
He did that.
you couldn't go-
Jose
That's
built
not
that. That's not fair, man.
I don't know.
And
I remember those times. I
Of course you
remember
do.
how
That's
dope
where
that team
you're
was.
talking from a bit of space because he
It's-
kind of shat all over your
It's
manager.
tight. It's tight. But the thing for me is that Klopp came into a Liverpool team who were absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, they were shot.
Oh, they were shit.
They were
No, but-
absolutely nowhere.
No, but you have to remember, Jose came and took on Sir Alex. Let's not forget that.
Wait,
Like,
he came and took on Wenger for a start. Wenger had just
and
won.
he mashed him up.
It's Bradley.
Oh, it was Bradley.
right-hand
no!
side. He
Bradley,
scored.
mate.
You wouldn't
miles
believe
out.
that little
There was
kid,
a foul. There was
that
a foul.
young
Bro.
apprentice.
How was he allowed to run unchallenged like that,
That
for
young
so long?
apprentice.
Because he was fouled. Chilwell was
You
fouled.
got to
earlier
ask
on.
yourself who's in
I
goal
feel
today.
like Chilwell's not having a great game.
He's
here.
not. He's not.
It's not going well for this kid.
He's not.
You got to wonder who's playing in goal today because I'm shocked once again by that 12 million signing.
17 million or
to be
something.
honest, to be honest with you, he's kept
Low.
in the game. To be fair.
Fuck me. This is
yeah,
it,
that
man.
was not good.
Sterling, this is
So
not what you
let's
wanted.
look at the replay here.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. From a throw-in,
Sterling gives it. Was it
Looks
Caicedo?
up.
Sorry, Caicedo gives the ball
Caicedo.
away. There's literally a wrestling.
wow, where's
What
everybody?
is going on here? So Jota literally is wrestling
No,
with
it's a,
Chilwell.
good, it's a
here.
really good finish.
Look,
Actually.
look.
Oh,
mean-
Chilwell's
No,
fucked it.
Chilwell, soft.
Chilwell's out of position and he's fucked it. And then Raheem Sterling did try and
Didn't
track back,
try.
to be fair, but he was miles
Got
away.
there too late.
On this Liverpool actually, we'll go back to the.
So top 5 managers.
Is he in our top 5 Premier League managers?
No.
Really, KG?
I think he's got to be. I mean, when you look at those some of those managers, they haven't won the Champions League, and you have to factor the Champions League
So
into it. as well.
the 4 that people have said are Pep, Sir Alex, Wenger,
Mourinho.
and then it's Mourinho and Klopp. Is that the
Yeah.
5?
Okay.
I think that's the 5. Is there anyone want to put anyone else in there?
I think that's fair.
Do you know what? Like, you could argue Ancelotti with all of his previous things that he's won and winning a Premier League title. That's a big
It's
statement.
kind of
I'm just saying he's got a lot
I
of credit.
think he's definitely one of the best
But
managers
in the
to manage
Premier
in the
League,
Premier League.
Claudio
but in
done
terms- but in terms-
Claudio done the impossible dream as well, bro. If you want to take, like, he's only got one.
Ancelotti.
Claudio done the
you
impossible
got
as well.
Conte. But no, I definitely put Klopp in the top 5. I just wondered if
Absolutely.
you on the rebuild.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's been built in his identity, and he's powered this club. He's been the life and soul of the club for so long, and I don't think he's leaving them in a bad position. But you're losing Salah and you're losing Klopp in the same summer.
Horrible.
And that's inevitable, right?
Horrid.
Whoever comes in, you're kind of fucked because the reputation of the club has been to do, challenge for titles.
Yeah.
But you're not even going to have the best player there to start off with. It's a bit like what Spurs kind of inherited, not the same way, but you're starting without Harry
This
Kane.
is worse.
Yeah.
This is worse. I'm telling you, like the impact of Klopp as a manager on those players is huge. They run for him. They'll
like
go for
lunatics,
brick wall.
yeah.
They're crazy for him, and especially when it gets bad. I believe there's that feeling of I can only imagine Liverpool fans trust their manager. If he says, even when he had the bad season, Liverpool fans weren't calling for Klopp's head. They knew that they'll be back in a situation. That last season was a bad season for them. Challenge for the title because that's who they are. So now when it gets rough, the new person and they have to get that right. And there's gonna be a drop off. Naturally, there was a drop off when they lost Mane. We're talking about losing leaders. If you do lose Virgil van Dijk and a Salah, plus the manager, come on.
It's interesting, like, as an Arsenal fan, I look at it and I kind of compare it to what happened with Wenger when Wenger left. And obviously, we brought Emery in and it kind of went wrong.
Nightmare.
And I almost think you actually need that Because Arteta now, we all love him. We all want a contract extension. We don't, we're not worried about him going to Barcelona, but we don't want him to leave. And
Slightly.
the thing is, we do associate a lot of success with Arteta now, and I think all of us believe in what he's building. But I kind of think we actually needed Emery to come in and just be the guy after the guy.
Yes.
You have
Do
to
you
take
know
the
what I
bullet
mean?
a little bit.
Exactly.
Like
that.
Moisey did.
Exactly. Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
And I actually think if Arteta had gone straight in after Wenger,
Horrid.
it wouldn't have worked.
Horrid.
So,
Like Van Gaal did. Sorry, like Mourinho. No, sorry, like Oli. No, sorry, like Ten Hag.
You're a
when
wanker.
is it going to go?
You're a wanker.
So when's it going to?
I've noticed what you're doing here, and that's why I want relegation. I'm looking at. I've got a keen eye on Newcastle.
No.
But you're making a point, even
Yeah.
with Poch,
A middleman.
Because let's have it right. When Poch left, Poch was everything for Spurs, even though they didn't win anything. Yeah, but then they went through what is They had that scrub from Nottingham Forest. They had they've had Conte. They've had all these funny
Mourinho,
managers.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the level of drop off.
Finally, this new manager, it makes it feel brilliant again. So I'm saying that in that same feeling, it could happen again.
No,
And
but,
you look
but
at-
the drop off though, right? Like I just want a bit of context for you guys. Newcastle, when we were breathing down Man United's neck, we finished second.
When?
We changed the manager. Kevin Keegan finished. The next season, we went from second to 13th in one season.
I love it.
Now I'm just saying, not saying that that's going to happen because you'd think there'd be too much quality. But when a man manager, which is exactly what
Yes,
Kevin
he
Keegan was, he was a motivator.
Yes.
When you rip him out the team, the level of motivation can sometimes drop to a level that we've never seen before.
Spirit of the club.
Now I don't think Kevin Keegan is a patch on Jurgen Klopp. Right? I love Kevin Keegan, but it's just what it is.
Yeah.
So
but he was the soul of your club.
absolutely. So what I'm trying to suggest to the table is what are the regions for a drop that we can imagine? So let's say best case scenario, worst case scenario. Obviously, best case is you don't miss a beat. But realistically,
happen.
let's keep it realistic. What you expect to happen versus what could happen.
I expect to finally be able to go to Liverpool and win a game and not get touched 7-0. I expect to not see the fist bump, the angry fist bump to the crowd. I think that it becomes
League position.
League position. I will say that outside of the top four, definitely. I think
Really?
it's gonna, I think it's not gonna be good. You can't. That's a big manager to leave. Like it's not as simple as he's gone and it's just business as usual.
And then the Salah, how many goals and assists this season? Like 30
Yeah.
odd. Like that is a massive amount to replace that.
Yeah.
And I think they've already done a good job in the front three of buying people for the future.
That's fantastic.
But we've got penalty.
it's given-
Oh my God! It's
Literally straight away.
No, Liverpool are disgusting. This is disgusting. This is
Literally
disgusting.
We
straight
knew this
away.
was going to happen.
That's
man.
disgusting.
You
That's-
do not want to go to Anfield after he makes that announcement, and you boys have been lambs to the slaughter
It
today.
was
Your
the
defence
worst
stinks.
possible game.
Your defence stinks.
I'm genuinely starting to feel sorry for Poch. I've just seen him watching the monitor, and it's like he's watching his dog get put.
This stinks.
I mean, Disasi completely slips over. I mean,
That's a dive.
Is it a penalty, guys?
I would not.
He's touched him.
yeah.
He's touched
That's
him.
not a
though,
penalty.
So
You know
much.
what it is?
He's
Now-
rolling around on the floor like he's been shot.
It's
Brian,
minor contact.
That is a
Brian,
disgrace.
can I ask you?
It could have been killed.
Does Diogo
could've been killed.
Jota?
It could have been killed.
Does Diogo Jota ever theatricalise his dives? Does he ever dive a bit silly? Does he ever get penalties he shouldn't
Imagine
get?
my shock at watching this motherfucker throw himself to the ground like a bitch.
He could have been killed.
I have to say, in terms of contact, though, we looked at the Gallagher one in the very early.
It's kind of
He's
similar.
holding his chest.
Kind of similar.
Mate, he's holding his chest like he's got cardiac arrest.
This,
right?
this is me in hospital over last week.
I swear down.
Give him the monitor.
I think it was you said he goes to the fucking Bruno Fernandes school of shithousery or whatever.
Don't blame Bruno on this one. This is just Jota
He's
cheat.
one of his
he
boys.
was in on goal and he dived. I've
there
never
are
seen that before.
There are people in the chat here saying he stamped on his foot.
Mate, that was a
He
slight
stamped.
touch. Oh, come on.
He
Come on.
stamped on his foot.
He stamped on his
And
foot. Why is he holding his chest?
Look, he's better.
I
That's the
can't
miracle
believe
spray.
this.
That's the miracle spray. That
Genuinely, I've been saying this, Josh, right? People think I'm overreacting. You will get nothing at Anfield. Now,
And
don't
that's
get me
gonna
wrong,
end.
Chelsea have tried by diving. I'm not commending it.
Yes.
But that was a dive as well, and that gets given.
And are you telling
Where's
me-
his yellow card?
Yeah.
Are you telling me Jurgen has Fergie powers over
He really does.
He does,
Do you
and
know
it's
what
going.
It's worse than Fergie because Fergie was an older man, right?
Yeah.
Jurgen's still a bit like fit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
good.
So he breathes down the neck.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's right,
yeah.
screams in their face.
Yeah.
And it
Darwin.
does have an impact. Nunes for the penalty.
Steps up. He
Shot
looks
number
cool.
36 of the game.
He's going to score this.
Oh!
fucking
Oh, he's having a nightmare. 7
He-
shots,
Oh
no goals.
my God.
Can I just say?
Can you take it back now? Because I
Mate,
told you he's shit. You told me all the
Raheem.
chances that he has.
Raheem's through
He's
it.
garbage.
Raheem can't
Oh,
run.
what a great
He
pass,
is
Raheem.
absolute
Love him.
garbage.
Love him.
I've got to say,
He's dumped the
Darwin.
juice.
Love him.
this is
You
so
can't say that's
awkward.
good.
It's awkward. Do you know what I mean?
Darwin.
He couldn't get a hard on if he popped 2 Viagra.
Yeah.
It's really getting like that, though, isn't it? Like, it doesn't matter how easy you make it for him.
He's
Fucking
ridiculous.
hell.
But this is the problem. He's got that mentality where he'll just go again.
No,
He'll
he's
just go
shit.
again.
He's
No,
rubbish.
at some point
they
he's
should
gotta-
score though. They got
80 million quid. 80 million quid for Darwin. Núñez.
bam.
Enzo. Oh, it was
Terrible.
rubbish.
Terrible.
I don't think that.
Take it back. I want you to
Watch
apologize.
this penalty. Watch this penalty. Here we go. He slaps it.
That's the striker.
Middle of
Do you
the
know what it
post.
is? This
Jurgen is not even
oh,
watching.
Jurgen couldn't watch. Poor Jurgen.
He knows.
He's watched him take him in
He
training.
knows. He knows. He knows. He's like,
Liverpool, this is how bad Núñez is. They're 2-0 up. I still feel sorry for them. Like, this is... Núñez has such potential, but it's the fucking fluffing of the
He
line.
can't kick a
every
ball.
time.
Shit.
He literally can't kick a ball.
He's shit.
Surely there's
He's
someone
the
that's
striker
better at
version of
penalty.
Almiron. He is just like Almiron.
Oh, is that what you're getting with Almiron?
Oh, mate, all the time. He's
I
brainless.
can't believe
but
he
he
was
tries.
brilliant at one stage, though. It's so
Mate,
incredible.
mate, everyone's had a good 6.
No, but he was There was a moment when Almiron could do nothing wrong. It was just fantastic.
Mate,
And
there was a moment where Joe Willock scored about 9 goals on loan for
There
you
you-
boys.
there you go.
45 million quid. Thank you very much, Newcastle.
Fuck me. Do you know what it is? Willock is actually a good player, but fuck me. He is, I mean, he's got
That's
brittle,
not it.
brittle bones, man.
Yeah, yeah.
He was out for fucking months, come back, got injured within another 3 weeks, and then he's been out for months again.
It's a shame because he'd have got a lot of minutes for you
wait,
this season.
how much did you say Joe Willock was?
35 million?
Was it 35 rising to 40?
No,
or
it
something like
wasn't.
that, was
It wasn't 40 million because that was
was
during the
gonna
Mike
say.
Ashley era. There's
It was
no
at
way.
the end of Steve Bruce,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Mike Ashley.
I want to say it was like 25 to 35, rising to 35, something like that. Which I don't know. If you can't stay fit, then you're not really much use to
Pass it into him.
Oh, Gallagher.
Oh, you're a
Gallagher's made
scumbag.
some. Yeah.
You're a
He's
scum.
not-
Craig really wanted him, man. What was
Yeah,
he calling him?
Galdop.
Concon.
we have to kind of look at this midfield scenario, right? Because it isn't.
We need to talk about Enzo and this cat.
Yeah, because it's the way
talk about
Liverpool
all of
play as a full team is problematic for midfields, right? But like you look at that midfield that Chelsea have assembled, well over 200 million, and Gallagher, who is valued at 50 to 60 million, and the way they've just been dominated
Bossed.
by
But Brian, fuck the midfield. Like, pretend Poch goes, you're in the job tomorrow. Who are you keeping on that pitch?
Yeah.
Genuinely, who are you keeping? Name a player.
Don't get
They're all
involved yet.
shit.
Don't get involved yet. This
They're
is
all
for us.
shit.
We'll,
I'm
we'll
not-
speak, innit?
It's mad. That's a mad take.
But, mate,
I mean,
but-
loads of them.
Who's had a good season?
Wait, hold on. I
Josh,
think this
who's
is
had a
for
good
us.
season? Like Palmer.
I think this is for us.
Palmer.
Yeah.
Who's had a good season? Apart
Wait,
from Palmer.
let's do it amongst ourselves before Josh.
Okay,
starts
who would you
saying
want?
all these players?
Who would
are
you
amazing.
take out of Chelsea?
Who would I
as
take out?
As United? Who would you
everyone takes Palmer because he's class.
Yeah, take
right?
Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good at penalties.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a cheeky look at the goalkeeper as well. But
Mate, he
Definitely
was 20 million quid that keeper.
no, but
I'll be honest.
on a serious note, there's not a lot in
The
there.
keeper's decent. The back four, I wouldn't give a fuck about.
No one.
None of them.
No one.
I mean, Reece James and Chilwell, you would.
He's
They're not fit.
Doesn't
They're
work.
not fit,
He doesn't
Josh.
work, Josh.
You might as well have the
Chilwell-
ghost of Reece James on that pitch.
That's a high five. That's a high five. The ghost of
He
Reece
smashed it.
That's funny as hell.
It's literally Muppet Christmas Carol. So-
We're Reece James and Chilwell. We're Reece James and Chilwell.
so, it's like-
That's a hammer.
this is just too much.
He's wicked.
Because I feel sorry for Josh because he says Chilwell, but Chilwell's having one of the worst games I've ever seen him
It's
have.
horrible.
It's the second game of the season.
Yeah. And obviously Reece is world class if you can ever see him. ever.
Yeah.
But no, like I look, I've got to say that none of them, other than Palmer, right now, that I would want. No,
That's hilarious.
And I accept though that I don't watch Chelsea and that people are watching like Caicedo.
I've never seen Enzo play good.
But
You don't watch Chelsea because they're never on TV.
he
'cause
won a
they're 10.
World Cup. He won a World Cup.
Here, don't do what we did with Pogba.
I thought
Don't do it. Just say it.
Enzo's last game he played quite well.
Enzo would get in your team. It would be brilliant.
But that's the thing is when I'm watching Chelsea. Here's the point. I've seen the Chelsea players, some of them have good games before, just not for Chelsea. Like I'm looking at them going, even when Chelsea beat they knocked us out the cup, they had possession, but I wasn't amazed by any of the players.
I don't get what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't get what any of them.
This is why I'm starting to worry for Poch, mate. I'm starting to look
This
at
is what I mean.
Finally.
I'm not, Josh, like to be serious, I'm obviously taking a piss a bit. I don't,
What? You're taking the piss?
yeah, when I was doing the stuff.
I thought that was
Let
really
him know.
serious.
Let him know. Very important.
None of us are saying that they're bad footballers. We've watched like Caicedo for Brighton, brilliant. Enzo for Argentina, brilliant. Like, it's not worked for any of them in a Chelsea shirt. And I can't tell whether I should feel sorry for Poch or whether he's the problem. Because they're good footballers, but it's just not working.
Yeah.
I don't really get what they're trying
Where
to
did
do.
they finish last season? 12th.
Disgrace.
A long way down. I think it was
Disgrace.
11th.
Okay, so they were 11th last season. Here's the thing. When you spend all that money, you make all those changes, you're not expecting it to work straight
billion.
away. All right, $1 billion. You're not expecting it to work straight away.
Net spend.
However, they're 10th now. So
It's a disgrace.
So the thing with Poch is like the long-term vision, it's not coming enough. Like and as a manager, you have to show fans can be quite patient if they get the vision. Like we've seen that before many
Right.
times. I don't see the vision right now.
Right, can I ask you a question? Imagine you was 11th, yeah, and you spend $1 billion. You're hoping to finish a bit higher than 10th, innit?
Maybe ninth. Maybe ninth.
But even then, this is fucking terrible.
Eighth.
After $1 billion,
You've been
you're
bad.
hoping to just go like, just, nyeh.
But the point is though is let's not even that, right? Let's just when I'm watching Chelsea play week in week out, you're like, yeah, they're all right, but you're not like, oh, this is going somewhere.
No.
And that's the thing that I'm completely waiting for. And at this point in the season in February, you'd think we'd have seen a bit more.
This is I guess, what I'd ask you as a Chelsea fan, what, and I'm not saying this, it's going to sound like I'm taking the mick, but I'm not. Like, what do you believe in? What on that pitch do you go?
I mean, Mikhailo
think that-
Mudryk mainly.
But he's not.
yeah.
I said on the pitch. I said on the. No, I'm serious, though, Josh. Like on that pitch today, who do you look at and go? I think that is the way forward. And
Like
if
a
we
spine
continue-
of the team
and if
that
we
you're
can-
building
And if we
around.
continue doing that, it will work.
Good question.
So I think, you start if you're talking about a spine, I think we've got a goalkeeper now that will be the number one goalkeeper going forward.
What him, Petrovic?
Yeah, Petrovic. I think he'll be starting for us, and I think he will be the one. I don't think we'll go out in the market and buy another goalkeeper. He's proven himself to be far.
So
decently good enough.
Sanchez gone.
I think Sanchez is going to be a fantastic number 2 option.
Okay.
And I don't think they'll get rid of him.
Defensively?
And then defensively, Thiago Silva obviously leaves the club probably at the end of the season, which is a huge problem for Chelsea. Bearing in mind he's 39 now already.
He's old.
He'll be off, but he's
So
kept
he's
himself
gone?
in very good nick. He's gone. If you're talking about a sort of a defender that I would put my house on playing week in, week out, it would honestly be Cole.
Yeah.
Cole would be
Bit-
one that I would say would
Oh,
be.
the hype is still there for him.
Yeah, Cole was still a very.
I agree with his talent. He's played left back, centre back. He's not looked good anywhere.
He's hasn't really played that often at centre back. When he's played at centre back, he's looked all right.
Okay, so that hasn't worked this season. And any other defenders that
Well,
you believe in?
again, Reece James, if he's on the pitch, 100% believe it. Yeah. Come on. No, but come on. I think you can all say when Reece James is fit, he gets in most teams.
I will say that. I will also say you have to move on from him. Because if you keep believing he's going to get fit, and I say this as an Arsenal fan with plenty of scars, who thought that Wilshere would get fit, who thought Diaby would get fit, who thought Eduardo would come back and win the title.
Yeah.
Song, you have to like.
Well, the good news is, mate. The good news is we've got Malagusto again. When he's played, he's looked really good. Malagusto is a decent player and a very good.
I think the whole is it just me or is the rest of the table going not really seeing?
Yeah,
I'm waiting for a name. He's named this terrible goalkeeper. then he's named
expensive goalkeeper, £25 million goalkeeper.
But in terms of the midfield, are you thinking like Enzo Caicedo at some
Lavia.
point start to dominate teams?
Enzo and Caicedo will be the DMs that we play for the next 3-4.
Does it
minimum
work?
years.
Does it work as
Yeah,
a
it does.
partnership?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it?
Mate,
Yeah,
you're 10th. You can't say it works.
No, but
it's not. It's taking the piss. Defensively, you should just be solid, and you're getting ran over here.
I think-
it's not Enzo. Enzo's not working. It's like you almost have to take off the tinted blue glasses in this one, and I have it because I know my team's in a bad way. You just to look at it and say we've been poor over in this whole game. The only player that I actually really rate in your team at the moment is Palmer. Palmer, even the Sterling thing
Palmer's
hasn't
not had a kick really because of the
Yeah.
midfield can't get a hold of the ball.
It's bad.
Let's be real. We're talking about Chelsea in one of the hardest games to win of the season, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not putting everything on this, but I'm just saying generally the season, looking at them, they're in 10th place, and there's just been a lot of performances where I've been like,
We've watched a lot of Chelsea games here, haven't we? And
even earlier this season, they were more exciting and more threatening.
Yeah.
And I feel like the further we get into the season, which in theory should be the more of the Poch identity, for me, they're getting less exciting, less threatening.
I'm more confused.
I disagree with that. I honestly, when you've looked at Chelsea's run of form recently, we've actually put a decent amount of games winning together. In fact, if we'd won today, which we absolutely won't, but it will be the first time we've won 4 games in a row since I think it was like 2022. It's been a very, very long time. So for you to say that we're not improving, the run of form that we've just had has actually been pretty decent.
But who-
and we've
but who is
looked
it?
slightly better
But
than
who-
what we
who-
were at the start of the season. I tell you now, at the start of the season, it was like last year.
I agree, but
That's really
I agree the results have got better, and I actually think that's a credit to Poch, and that's why I don't think you should get rid of Poch. But who is it? Like, who on the pitch has made it get better, and what have they been doing?
Mate, honestly, I think when we're talking about who's to blame,
No, who's to blame? Who's good?
mate, there's quality
Because
in this team.
I can tell you who's to blame. There's a long list, but who's good?
For me, right, the key thing that you've got to look at it here is that we've got a very, very young squad, and you can't say that they should be immediately good right now. Obviously, we've looked at them, bought them, and said, right, we see their quality, we see their potential, we think that they should be at it Premier League level right now. But quite frankly, the average age of the signing was about 20. So to expect the boys to come in and be like Champions League level quality, as much as we before the season fooled ourselves into thinking that was going to be the case, it's not, and it's going to be a bit of a journey. And I think what a reactionary fan would do would go, yeah, Poch out, he's the one to blame, sack all the players, buy a whole new set of players. And I don't think that's the answer. What I'm trying to convey here is that while from the outside perspective you might go, yes, there's not a lot of quality, there's not a lot of players that I would want in my team, there's not a lot of like standout star names. They're not going to buy star names. Their transfer policy is to get young players, improve them with a coach that is very good at improving young players, that Pochettino has clearly proven that he can do in his previous clubs. And we're yet to see that, but hopefully he'll do that at Chelsea Football Club.
I think he's bought star names. You got a World Cup winning midfielder. You got the most expensive midfielder in the world playing next to him.
Yeah.
You got Raheem Sterling, who won everything at Manchester City. I think
the transfer fees can mask whether they're star names. Like, I don't think anyone would go before the transfer window and before we outlaid as much for Caicedo. I don't think anyone would be saying he's an elite DM
Liverpool.
that everyone knows.
I wanted him at Arsenal, man. I wanted him. I'll be very honest. I wanted him more than Declan Rice.
Yeah,
I honestly did.
But the thing is though, is like in teams that are functional at the moment, like a Liverpool team who's coming to the end of a Jurgen Klopp era, that have had experience and youth. A player like Caicedo can take his time and bed into the team, right? He can get better, and Jurgen would coach him. He'd have experience around him like Virgil van Dijk and that sort of thing to get better. Whereas with Chelsea, it's a load of young players all at once, and we're expected to immediately make.
But not necessarily true with what Liverpool's done, because they put a brand new midfield together. It's Endo. Some people are still trying to make up their mind about that midfield. You've pretty much changed everything. They got Gravenberch in there.
They've changed
Endo,
it. They've changed it, but they've not. They've changed it, but they've not changed it with sub 23-year-old talent.
One thing I would say is looking at the teams that Chelsea have been beaten.
Yeah, this is 100%. This is 100% a correct point, and it's not only just the teams, Brian. It's actually the performances. Like,
Do you think the performances have been good?
I think we've had a lot of games recently that we've won, but the performances haven't been good.
So that's sort of. And look, I'm not.
And I'm not saying
I know
I'm not.
you're
that's
going
kind
to
of
bat
our
for your
question.
team.
No, but I'm not saying no. But what I'm saying is they've been not good, but they've not been as terrible as they were at the end of last season and the start of this season.
Okay, but I was feeling like Chelsea were being more threatening in early games, but obviously, like what you're saying is true, that they have been winning. They've been beating teams like Sheffield, Wolves,
Luton.
Palace, Luton, and Middlesbrough and Fulham.
Yeah.
Like all games that you should win.
100%.
But at least you are. Like earlier in the season,
Mate, we lost to Forest early in the season at home.
So there is a level of like, okay, you're starting to behave like a team should behave now. And maybe the progression isn't as rapid as what I thought because of the amount of money and because of Poch. I'm worried about Poch though, just overall, because it is just such slow progress that I'm thinking like, all right, it's not as good as I thought, but it's so slow that I don't know how long he will last. If next season starts like this,
I'm surprised. The pressure. I get it, and Simon Jordan's called these lot a manufactured club and no one cares, in it. And I feel like some of that's true because I'm surprised he's not under more pressure. We've heard every 4 days we hear Ten Hag's going to lose his job, and I understand it. But then let's have it right. I've never heard a Chelsea fan a Chelsea fan say we've won 4 games that's not Chelsea. That's not Chelsea standards. Yeah. Chelsea, even when they sack managers, I expect Chelsea to still win big trophies. Yeah. Even on the manager sackings, I don't understand.
That was the model.
The difference is though is like, I feel that Man United are at the end of a cycle, right? And I won't make this about Man United. I'll bring it back to Chelsea. I feel that Man United are at the end of a cycle whereby you're going to have to go through a transition like Chelsea are going through now. So I'll bring it back to Chelsea and say this. We have literally ripped up the club. Like, we have got rid of all of the board. We've got rid of all of the management structure. We've got rid of all of the medical team. Yeah. We've got rid of all the recruitment team. We've got rid of an entire squad of players that were the elite squad of players that were there, that were older, that had been there, won things. And we've had to completely create a new team with a new management structure, with a new youthful setup, with a new recruitment team. Everything, again, refreshing, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's actually, I think there will be clubs that go through this process going forward now, right? Because it's going to happen more and more often. You're going to see there will be tough times. Like you saw with Arsenal, like you had to go through a few tough years to then get to the successful era of Arteta, and arguably still hasn't been successful, right? There's still a transition. 2 8th place finishes, wasn't it?
It was 2 8th place finishes, but I think the difference was we had hope. There were players on the pitch that we knew were the future. Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe.
And there was money yet to be spent.
But also
the building blocks were happening slower. So what Chelsea have done is they've thrown a whole different load of blocks at it in one go. And naturally, you're thinking, you've put so many new players in there. You've played a lot of hands early here. And you only do that when you feel like you go all in when you've gone strong. And what we're saying is they haven't come off yet.
I guess the word I would use, Josh, that all of us believed in as Arsenal fans, that I don't see in Chelsea, and I don't think it's a criticism of Poch necessarily. We knew what the personality that Arteta was putting on the team was. We knew exactly what his ethos was. We knew how he wanted to play football, and we knew which players were going to be the core of that. And you could see it almost immediately. And I just don't see that with Chelsea. And I thought I would. I thought your personality would be Caicedo. I thought the personality would be Enzo, but it's not. And I guess the next question I'd ask you is like, what do you do next? Do you feel like Poch is in control of this? Do you feel like this is what Poch wants?
Not in terms of a recruitment,
because that's the difference for me.
Yeah, that is 100% the difference. The difference is you're linked up. Like, you've got Edu above Arteta, who completely believes in Arteta and wants him to succeed, and basically collaboratively they agree what they want to do. That's the simple.
Yeah.
Whereas remember, like, Pochettino is a new manager that's come in. They've actually built on Potter previously as being the project manager, and they've tried to get players in that suit his system and his style. And obviously we've had a big change since then. But the key thing is that we'll never be that sort of. I don't think we'll ever be that tied up unless Pochettino gets the opportunity to stay for longer. And that's why a lot of the Chelsea fans that I'm speaking to now are saying they want that continuity because they want to give him some credit and some time to be able to sort of build that rapport with the recruitment team. But what I would say has gone wrong is that what they've done is they've looked at it from a data and from a sort of a financial perspective and gone, what we can do is bring on loads of really young players, stack the squad. If they are not good, we'll sell them and we'll get some value. Triple substitution. We'll talk about the subs in a second. But if we, that's their strategy, to bring in all those young players And now what I think they're going to have to do in the next window is go, we don't need 15 new players. We don't need 10 new players. What we need is 2 or 3 really experienced, sort of like top level talent that have that sort of captain's mentality.
To have personality.
And personality. And when you look at the Chelsea teams of old that won things, what we had was a team of captains. We had players. We had players that would drag the team forward. You know, if JT was injured, we'd have other captains that were on the team that could absolutely represent Drogba, Ballack. You know, like all of these players. Like John Obi Mikel was the captain of Nigeria. Like, you know, like we had some quality leadership, and that is what, to summarise it. That is what we're missing right now: personalities, as you say, and some experience. And what they're going to have to do as a director of football is find that experience in this summer's window.
That triple sub, by the way, just sums up everything about how I think Poch feels about this team. Not you, but not you either. Not you. It feels like he's just doing that every week. Because I don't think he likes any of them.
I don't agree, because the team sheets have been relatively settled.
Because there's no one else.
That's because we've got a 12
injuries,
mate.
What I would say is, Josh talking about the captain's thing, those who've been watching the kick-off this season, early on, just giving myself a little bit of credit, just saying, I did say, who was going to be there to show these boys the Chelsea way? Who was the leader? Who was the captain? And the response was Conor Gallagher and Reece James. And in my head, I thought, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? And now that the more the season goes on, I'm even more like, and it's not that I don't rate those 2 players, but they're not those guys, especially not Reece, he's half the fucking season out all the time, right? So, like, I think that's something that they're now going to have to rectify, but they were there probably.
I don't think this is like a crisis game. I think even if we lost this game 4-0, I don't think it's a crisis game. We knew this was going to be difficult. Going to Anfield is hard enough, let alone when Jurgen's got his homecoming moment and his send-off. So we knew it was going to be a hard game. And I'm just
saying it's a crisis season.
I think we're saying this less as a reaction to this game and more as a kind of
it's halfway a confirmation
through the season.
Of what we've been through.
It's like a midterm report what we're doing here.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about the leaders thing. I thought Sterling would be more of that.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
He's never been that guy.
Sterling is least.
I thought he went there to become that.
The wage he's on, the role he was given.
To become that.
Yeah, and look, I've been saying it over and over again. I'll get a bit of banter from the Chelsea fans about saying this, but I'm absolutely ready for Raheem to go. And I'd be happy if he went in the summer and goes to Saudi. And
it's got to be Saudi because no one else is going to pay those.
America.
I don't think people are enjoying that Saudi trip, though, to be honest. Seem to be leaving. So it's not the same, like, everyone, Benzema trying to get out, stuck there, you know. So I don't know if it's the Saudi dream. I don't know how long that's going to last for a lot of players.
Do you know how old Raheem Sterling is?
He's 29, 30, isn't he?
He's just turned 29.
Yeah.
He's going to sit on that.
How crazy is that? It feels like he's 33.
He was playing very young in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I mean, I will say this as an Arsenal fan. It's something I worry about with Saka. Yeah. I think Sterling was overplayed massively.
You lot played the hell out of
and
Saka.
We do play the hell out. Mate, Saka's hamstrings are more worn out than my boxers, mate. We need to rotate.
Do you think that this is the season where Arsenal have to do something in regards to, like,
ball over to Raheem Sterling?
Come on, Raheem, do something.
Nah, they're going to
do something. Look, he slowed it down straight away.
Good ball in.
For me, that is endemic of why I dislike Raheem so much. He had the opportunity to put the ball through there, go and take it himself, and he's held onto the ball, waited for everyone to go around him. He doesn't trust
his pace anymore.
No.
Because Raheem Sterling, years ago, would have been thinking, going for goal here, and there he thought, I already know before I get this ball, I'm not fast enough to beat the slot, so fuck it.
I love Raheem Sterling, by the way. I think for 2 tournaments for England, he was our best player, and one of the best players at each of those tournaments.
I think he's highly overrated.
But that's why we bought him. We thought we were buying that England Sterling, and he just hasn't done it for us. Like, we bought him to be that sort of elite, experienced player that would drag us through games and get goals out of nothing and beat players. And he just hasn't done that.
He benefited so much from Pep Guardiola, man. Pep Guardiola gave him 5 chances a game, sitters every time. But his numbers would not be anything like that.
That's the thing, though. At City, he wasn't the personality. He was the finisher. He was the finisher.
Yeah.
De Bruyne would do the work. Sane would do the work. David Silva would do the work. And, like, picture in your mind a Man City Sterling moment. It's one touch, bang, back post, end of the move.
Still movement and understanding what to do. Like,
I'm not saying, no, mate, I love him. I respect it a lot. But he wasn't the personality of the club. He wasn't the spirit of the club. He was the end of a move.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is Chelsea brought him in going, could you be one of our leaders? Could you be one of our captains? And he's never that.
I find that signing strange from Chelsea, though.
It was a
get
Todd Bowley summer when he was director of football signing, mate.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was one of those things where it was like agent says that big player is available. Todd Bowley thinks that he's a sort of a wonder, director of football. Does the deal. Comes back into the boardroom and goes, lads, I've done a massive deal. I've got Raheem Sterling in, and what a player he's going to be. He plays for England, and you just go, oh yeah, nice one, Todd.
A question we didn't answer early on, I just want to re-ask it because I forgot about this. I asked Jurgen Klopp leaves Chelsea through.
Mudryk.
He's got Mudryk. Surely it's Mudryk. Oh my God, it's terrible.
All right, talk to me.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Now, you said, look, this is what you told me everyone's good here.
And you all laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now.
Look at that guy's hair and tell me that he's not a quality footballer.
Oh God, that was awful.
That stinks.
He's so off balance, man.
Look at him. He's looking at it.
9 Premier League goals, Josh.
Yeah.
9 Premier League goals.
Yeah. Do we have money?
It ain't happening,
Did we
mate.
have money on that?
We didn't.
Even he
I
can't
wish we
believe
had.
it.
Thank God we don't.
Even
See-
he can't believe it. That's
Yeah.
disgraceful.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's the hope that kills you.
were you going to ask
I'll go back to it.
where Liverpool going next year?
So right, without Jurgen Klopp, but also without
They're gonna
Mo
score
Salah,
again.
we've obviously got. Oh, we're there. It's one-touch football around the box.
Good block.
Once again, without Jurgen Klopp, without Mo Salah, we're going to see a drop-off. I think we all agree that they probably won't finish in the same position that they would have finished with those two. What is the range from what you expect to happen? Like, let's just start with that. Where do you expect Liverpool to finish? Just guessing right now, without Klopp, without Salah, just a guess. What would you say?
I think they'll stay in the top 4 because I don't know who takes their place. Like, who leapfrogs Liverpool next
Well, we've
season?
already seen that this season's been quite competitive up there.
Spurs.
You'll have Villa spending more money, Newcastle spending more money, Spurs building from where they are. Remember, Liverpool have got a restart here. So
They've got a bit of a... So who's going? Salah's going? And Salah's not on the pitch today.
Salah and
Jota-
Klopp are definitely going. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know that they are going to lose one of the greatest players that's ever played in the Premier League and one of the greatest managers, by your own words,
Yeah.
have the Premier League.
I-
It's a big loss, that.
It is a big loss. If they get Xabi Alonso, they've got the most exciting young manager in Europe coming to them. But which, by the way, I don't think they should do. I think he is unproven. I still think there's a stylistic difference, and the Bundesliga, as we've learned many times, Kai Havertz is very different to the Premier League.
Ten Hag was exciting apparently once, but and
Yeah.
I agree though. I think this is a great match for them. But I just want to put it across, and also again, Mo Salah, goals and assists coming out of his ears.
I think there's enough talent in Liverpool that they stay in the top 4. And this is the thing. I think if there was a Chelsea, a United, a Brighton, as there was last season, like Newcastle will come back because of the money they got. But like, if there were teams outside the top 4 right now who were really forcing their way in, I'd say Liverpool. You got to look over your shoulder. Right now, I think they can almost afford a transition year.
5. I think. Like,
Who's coming
fifth,
for them? Who's coming
fifth,
for them?
sixth.
So
Name. I
name
think teams can surprise you.
4
Remember, you've got-
teams that are going to finish above Liverpool.
Because even
Do you not think that the drop off in man motivation from Jurgen Klopp?
Absolutely.
Because remember, all of these players play to the level that they do with an extra whatever percentage you put on it because of Jurgen Klopp.
You're not
Well,
putting the credit on Klopp.
we're talking about international players here. We're talking
doesn't
about
matter.
Alex
Doesn't
McAllister,
matter.
who won a World Cup. We're talking about Soboslai, who scores goals for Hungary and has scored a lot of goals.
Okay.
I think we forget sometimes they've got stupidly good players.
Oh, no, I'm just making the argument because I think it's important to address that it could drop off. We've seen that happen.
The reason I think, Brian, that it could drop off is because I don't think it's just Salah. I think Van Dijk might go. I think there are other players in that team that could go as well. I think if you start talking about a Van Dijk going and a Salah going, then we have a conversation.
I think Van Dijk is leveraging for a new contract. It's great he said that. He said that at the right time. He's hoping now that they know there's too much change. We can't lose 3 in one go. So Van Dijk saying this now secures his retirement fund and he gets to stay at Liverpool and he just to be there as to help through the transition that they're going to go through.
The thing is, we're talking about a team who are top 1, 2, 3 in the league. Like I think if you would say who's the top 3 teams in the league right now, you'd say City, Liverpool, and probably Arsenal, right?
Yep.
When you're at that level of the Premier League, it only takes 2 transfers to go wrong, and things go really wrong. I look at Arsenal essentially swapping Xhaka for Havertz this season. I think we're a bit worse. If they get the replacement to Salah wrong, that's when I think you could talk about it. I think if Van Dijk goes and they replace him, they get it wrong. That's
When you say replacing Salah, though, think about how mentally hard
of course,
it will be.
mate. Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it's easier to get wrong than it is to get right, surely. And the thing about the level of money that it would take to get right, and the level of money that Liverpool stereotypically spend, I mean, even Mbappe isn't guaranteed to get it right. Like, Mo Salah is unique.
Where do you see them going? Do you think they could drop out of the Champions League?
100%.
Do you think they will?
Look,
Do you think they will?
And look, I'm not saying I expect it, because I agree that they've got great players. But if there's one thing I'm aware of is losing a man motivator. It's huge that the percentage of those kind of players, like what they can get out of players, and then losing your best footballer, arguably, that you've had in the last 30 fucking years, together. I mean, if they stay in the top 4, that would be a miracle to me.
That'd be job done. Whoever
I think
comes
that'd
in,
be
that's job done.
fantastic. If you can maintain top 4 while losing your greatest manager in God knows how long, your greatest footballer in God knows how long, in the same summer, and stay in top 4, that would be unbelievable. Because I tell you now, Newcastle are signing an Adidas deal. We're going to be spending money. I'm sure Aston Villa are spending money. I'm sure Spurs are going to try and come. Man United.
Don't leave us out.
Might come.
Don't leave us out, lads.
Like, I'm not saying that. I think Man United.
Don't
absolutely
leave us out.
could-
You can't.
if they change their manager, right?
You can't leave
But
us out.
The point is, Liverpool are in a good situation, but just to have to reset while everyone else does not reset, does not lose their best player. Everyone else has got an advantage over you because they're not going through that, in my opinion. So I think Liverpool would do fantastically well to stay in the top 4 without Jurgen Klopp and Salah.
I'm not sure about the quality of the teams underneath them. Like, I think
That's
City,
my concern.
I think
That's where I am.
City do end up sort of like regaining the title, especially if Pep does stay. It'll be inevitable, and that kind of feels like Pep's last season next year. Like, he'll be up for it, and he'll stay and win the title. I think. Pep
will stay as long as it's easy.
I honestly do feel that Liverpool will be second. Now, if you're saying to me how far can they fall, of course they can fall far back. I think they finish second
you
next
think
year
they
with a
finish
new
second
manager.
without
I do.
Salah?
I do. The reason why is because they've still got quality front 4, let alone if they end up going to sign someone. And they still have, I mean, if Van Dijk just runs down his contract and potentially gets another one, and they sign Trent up to a new deal, which is very realistic. Trent isn't going to go to another club after Liverpool. He really isn't. So if you see that, they've really kind of got the majority of their core still going to be playing.
Fergie left the team of champions,
Alisson.
by the way. I just want to let you know.
I think you've got to be honest with it.
We won the
but
league.
you've got to be honest. That team wasn't a championship.
We still know.
that was a Fergie.
It was a
championship.
terrible
No, they
league,
was.
yeah.
They won it. No, but I'm saying they're not a team that was expected. When it gets bad, you just got to think of, when it gets bad, are you the motivator to get the best out of the players? When it's dark times, when let's say you get two home defeats. Fans are not used to that. There's all sorts of.
I
It's
think
different.
Klopp's leaving them
That's
in a
hard.
great position squad-wise, and that's
he
why I agree. I'm not appalled by anyone saying top 4, top 2. Like, it could happen. I'm just saying, like, without Klopp and the magic he brings and the magic of Mo Salah on the pitch, people don't understand that. Like, do you know those days where the rest of the squad aren't really 100%?
Yes.
Those two motherfuckers are always 100%.
But you said,
And what I've seen a million times before is in games where match winners like that exist, they turn draws into wins, man.
Yeah.
And I just think that naturally would happen more without them.
but you say that though, but come on, like name me 2 other teams that are going to be above, below them.
But the point is,
Like, name me-
the point is right now you can only envisage Liverpool as you're watching them right now. But that's set up by Jurgen Klopp, managed by Jurgen Klopp, motivated by Jurgen Klopp, led by Mo Salah. And all I'm saying is in my opinion, the percentage that adds, I think
Is
you
a
are
big one.
underestimating. There's a reason why we're sat around the table right now going, Jurgen Klopp, top 5 managers of all time.
Yeah.
Even though he's only won the league once, we still, because we
Yeah.
know the dominance and the effect that he has. And for me, that you just can't, until it's not there, none of us are able to say for sure. But I think that impact is massive to this team. I hate playing Jurgen Klopp teams. They're unbelievable.
I do, yeah. And I do agree with you, by the way.
Yeah.
As I agree with Josh. I think it's more about what's below Liverpool right now.
Spurs
whether they
can kick
come
on.
up.
Spurs can
but
kick
they're
There's
on.
one thing
gonna
that this
finish
Premier League
second.
I
has
have to
shown
say,
us this season, though, is teams can put runs together out of fucking nowhere.
Absolutely.
And be breathing down your neck. Like, and I said Aston Villa Champions League at the start of the season is an option. I got laughed at, right? Now, they've been one of the most consistent teams in 2023 moving into this year. Newcastle just spanked them, it's whatever, you know. But I'm just saying, like, teams can develop a bit of form out of nowhere and all of a sudden you've got problems.
Is he on side?
Yeah.
He was about 5 yards off.
I think it's a fair shout, though.
And he was fed up with Sterling for playing it late as well. You saw him straight away go, "Come on, man! I made that quicker."
I mean,
He's done that a few times, Sterling. I'm not. It's only because you mentioned it.
He
No,
wants
but
it there,
seriously, he holds it on.
Oh, he's so slow at the ball,
But this is why, like, I can understand why he's taken off Noni, but I'd much rather he'd taken off Raheem.
Should we talk a little bit about your club again?
Let's go, man, because we're bloody hell.
Ten Hag's really under pressure now, it seems.
Super.
And even, you know, sometimes you start feeling a bit sorry for a manager because, like, you know, the Newport game.
Do you feel for us?
No, like, only him. Because, like, I don't have anything against the guy, but like, you know when you can see a manager, he's getting questioned afterwards, and they're talking about the Newport game. Now, obviously, there was a comedy moment where you go 2-2.
Yeah.
And afterwards, he went, they had nothing for us. They had nothing for us. And you can see how insecure Ten Hag is coming across by getting in the interview, being like, they didn't do anything. It was just a lucky goal.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like, we can say you're struggling with this right now. Onana, for a start, that transfer. I mean, the Anthony transfer and the Onana transfer, it's a real toss-up between which was worse. Because when Onana went to the African Cup of Nations, you're like, maybe he'll recover a bit of form, maybe he'll get his confidence. He got dropped for a third division French goalkeeper who was his cousin.
His cousin.
Mate.
It's a disgrace.
I mean, so Onana's sitting on the bench over there. Anthony can't get, get anything going for them. So now there's rumours of Jose Mourinho wanting to come back. Like, I think is it now inevitable around the table that it's like a matter of time with Ten Hag, or do we think he survives the change of football management?
That was an unbelievable dummy there.
Yeah.
All right, so the pressure is on now, finally, and when you listen to the Man United fan base, well, I would say the online fans at the moment that I'm seeing on Twitter and in these different spaces, a lot of them want him to go. Even the fact that some people were playing with the thought of Jose Mourinho coming back. Some people, like, they did couple polls will run, and they, like, it was like 51% was like, no, we wouldn't take Jose, but that's really close. That just goes to show the trust and even people questioning Ten Hag's decisions with this Rashford thing. Yeah. So you can fully see right now that it's not great. It's not a gravy situation. And with the new higher-ups, he is under pressure.
I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Because so much of the season, I've kept watching bad Man United matches and going, this is the one. This is the one. And at what point do you think it turned? What is the thing? The Rashford thing, the game?
There was a Newcastle game. The Newcastle game was painful. Like, that was because that was you lot's B team or something.
Yeah,
that
was that at Old Trafford when we beat you in the cup? Is that the one?
There's been loads. There's been loads.
No, we did beat them. We beat them 3 times in a row, which
you
never
messed
happened
us
in like
up a
100
lot.
years.
There's the one when you lot done the celebration and you stopped winning after that for a while.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so
but that one, honestly, that was the game when I was like, sugar, man, I don't think, like, it's just not working.
Yeah.
And the hard thing is sometimes the players give a shit, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
And I feel for Ten Hag, it's like you're trying to inspire these guys, but these guys are still snakes. These are still the same guys that have so many managers have come here and lost their job. So even the fact that you're saying, well, Rashford can go out and we've given him everything.
Yeah.
But now it's one of the things where I can't, like, before, every time you ask me about Ten Hag, I would always be like, I defend him.
I respect it.
Yeah, I've defended him, but then even now, there's some decisions that it's hard to defend. Yeah. So even we brought in a new striker in Hoyland, and he's actually a good striker. We don't pass to him.
Bro, do you know that he hasn't had a single assist in Premier League?
We don't pass to him.
Even the goals he has scored, he's made himself.
There is 5 of his own.
And against Newport, he had the least amount of shots. All of his midfielders had more shots than him.
Everyone. And that's the highest that at Man United, the people that shoot the most, Garnacho, Anthony, and it's disgusting.
Imagine Zlatan Ibrahimovic putting up with that, or Van Nistelrooy, or
anyone.
Like any of these top Man United strikers.
Anyone. But then, but the part of this is where I can't get rid of responsibility. That's on the manager to say, pass to the striker. Yeah. Well, and the fact that you're allowing these guys to get 70 to 80 minutes, that's my biggest problem with the manager at the moment is he's not rectifying this. Like, why do you get to play a full game when you played like this, and then you've let go of Facundo, who is get down the wing and whip it in at least minimum? I'll take
Elanga.
that.
Goal.
He's finally scored.
Four.
I have to say, there's the right back Bradley for Liverpool has had a fantastic
Really
game
good.
today.
He's smoked
He's
it.
had so much space
He's
on the
had
right hand side, and he's whipped a ball in, and they've scored a
This
wonderful
could get
header.
nasty, though. This could get
It's
nasty.
not
It's still
good
3-0.
at all.
And there's still a lot of football to be played.
I have to say though, credit to this guy, very young player, starting for Liverpool at Anfield. He's been
Mate,
brilliant.
it says a lot about the Klopp legacy, to be fair, when you've got a young kid doing so well on a game like this for him. Like, there are lots of talented players coming through, like.
That's part of my hope. I don't hope they get anything. But if I was to
Your
say, they're
belief.
gonna-
Look
yeah,
at the
my
space,
belief.
though. Can you even... This is incredible. This is like the
My
earlier goal.
God, mate.
He doesn't know
that
what's
left
going
back
on.
position
He doesn't
has
have
been
a clue.
so exploited. Chilwell, get in the bin, mate.
He's gone. He's
Chilwell's
taken him
off.
off. Yeah.
So this is Badia Shield
Well,
on the
they're
left hand
both
side.
shite.
But
Sorry, my bad, they're bullshit.
well, the only thing I'd say, and it's not to kick your hero, but like both times it's a fullback. You know,
Absolutely.
Both times it's a fullback, and it's
Well,
like,
this
and,
is the
and you have
thing-
to say, where's the winger? Where's the winger tracking back? Sterling didn't do it the first half. Mudryk didn't.
I
track him there.
don't blame Mudryk there. Like, to be honest with you, Badia Shield was nowhere near it. And I have to say, guys, like, we have got two very good fullbacks in Reece James and Chilwell. I know Chilwell was rubbish today, but come on, like, we just haven't.
Centre back wise, though, when Sobozai is dominating in the air,
Yeah,
It's not good.
mate, it's brutal.
I think you need a brand new defence. I do.
No, genuinely,
To be honest with you,
I do.
It's the one thing though that we all, like everyone who was in the Chelsea fan, we all went, we wouldn't have any of your defenders.
No.
Yeah.
And Josh, I get what you're saying about the ones that are talented, but they're never there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And look, you know, I said this about N'Golo Kante. You know, I loved him as a player, but if you can't get on the pitch, it doesn't matter how good you are. So I agree, and I have to say, like, a lot of Chelsea fans now are worried about, you know, Reece being injured constantly, and like he's had surgery on his hamstring now, which is never a good sign.
mate,
So
that's usually it.
you really do worry about
Look
that.
at that,
And
Bailey.
Chilwell is coming back from an injury, so you can understand him having a fairly average game because you know it's one of his first games back. But you know he's been actually pretty good when he's played. So yeah, we've just been screwed over, decimated by injuries, but
Question.
not been good enough tonight.
Sorry, mate. Question, lads.
United.
The Man United thing. What was I fucking saying? I've just had a few beers. Where were we again?
Well, you were talking about how you feel that part of the problem is that players are getting minutes who shouldn't.
Players are getting minutes. Ten Hag's under pressure, and it's becoming.
Do you think
it's
that's
getting
why
hard.
he's let Rashford off with this then?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
He's-
I think there's a lot, like, even for the first time, and I know this feels like really simple for everyone else. Yeah, you know, we never had like owners giving a shit or coming to games. That Brailsford guy,
Well, yeah.
Mr. Sir Dave Brailsford, he's there, and you know him. He's Mr. Marginal Gains.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those ones. So finally, you've actually got a Hawkeye that's watching and with expectation. With before, all we had to do was hit the KPIs, get the
Sell the shirt.
sell the shirts,
Yeah.
and all this other stuff, which didn't really matter when it came to dividends being shared out. That was it. Finally, there's this huge pressure, but I feel that this is a key moment for Ten Hag, and why he said, you know what, let's not have the noise. I have now to the end of the season to get this thing right, and that gives me time. If I get European football, I will be fine, and I'll be a part
Is
of
that your belief as well? If he
I
gets
believe
European
that.
football,
European
he
football,
keeps
he'll
his
be
job.
fine.
Okay.
If he falls out,
Do you think he does?
We looked bad against Nick. I'm hoping it's just Man United fan hope.
No.
I don't like. I'd like.
Does that go around the table think that then? Since
Well,
you-
I'm just looking at the table now. It's obviously Liverpool top, City, Arsenal third, Tottenham in fourth, Villa in fifth, West Ham sixth, Newcastle seventh, Brighton eighth, then Man United. Which of those clubs do you catch? Like, do you catch?
I think Villa could be on the drop. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. I think we can catch Villa. I think we can catch Newcastle. I think we
Brighton.
can catch. What's that?
Brighton.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like there's. It'll be interesting to see how Spurs finish it because they look like they're going to kick on.
They're so far ahead of you as well.
know what it is?
11 points between.
I'm going to say you can catch Brighton because they're shite at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Potentially West Ham,
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
right?
I think we
but
catch
I'm
West Ham.
going to say potentially because there's only 3 points. They're 3 points away from West Ham, right? They're playing them soon,
Yeah.
right? I think Villa at 11 points clear of you are just too far away. I think Newcastle without Champions League football will start to put a bit of form together, and I think we'll be quite tricky.
Yeah.
So, You know,
I think
you're looking at
3
6th or 7th at best. Like,
That's
a
it.
real...
six get you Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Europa
that's-
League.
yeah.
But, mate, you got a lot of teams to leapfrog to get that.
We can do that. I think we can do that. We just have to go on again.
All right.
We've got 1 game a week, and now we actually got our first team. The issue is, how good is Onana going to be with everything that he's gone through? And that's the thing that
I can make a guess, mate.
Cameroon said, you're not good enough for us in the AFCON. They said against Nigeria, which is a big game,
they didn't
that's
trust
huge. And they said, you are not playing. That is incredible. That just lets me, and my manager is not going to say, I think I've got this one wrong, because again, still trying to a point to prove with the Anthony situation. We put out all this money on Anthony, which is my recommendation.
Nana could get him killed, you know. Yeah, and Nana is that guy who, because Anthony won't get you killed because Anthony will try. Yeah, he's not going to deliver anything, but Onana's the type he's going to let bags of goals in here.
Did you see when Leon? This is what killed me. Is when Leon Bailey was just whispering to him when he was on the free kick. Then he runs off. And they score.
Yeah.
Yes, Christopher Nkunku's just backed in.
What?
Woohoo! Get in.
When did that
I'm
happen?
sorry.
Chelsea are
This
back.
means absolutely nothing, everyone. It means absolutely nothing. We're going to lose this game. But I've just seen Christopher Nkunku come back from a serious injury, play for Chelsea, and he scored in 25 minutes.
Well,
absolutely exquisite.
Can I
Look
just
at
say,
this, though. Nice bit of movement, to be fair, like.
Carney does a beautiful run here.
that's-
Nkunku in the
that's
area.
fantastic.
Just
That's
brilliant.
It was actually a sexy
Just
goal.
trust
That's
the
a really
process,
good
guys.
goal.
Trust the
but
process, Jacob.
Josh.
It's going to come good, Jacob. Don't worry.
I think he is the process. no. Honestly, coming back to what we were saying earlier, in terms of going, pick someone on the pitch who's actually a decent player. He's been injured all season. You think, mate.
You didn't let me. You didn't.
Like
you didn't let me
the
get
other
to
ones
him.
be like.
You didn't let me get to the forwards. I was only through to the midfield.
He's the one for me. He's a
Quality.
Poch player.
Mate, we signed Christopher Nkunku to be the guy up top and in the wing positions for us. He's been injured the entire season. He looked so good in pre-season. He made everyone else look better. He made Jackson look like he was a world-class player. Like, we've been waiting for this moment, and finally we've seen him. Carney has been injured since the West Ham game. Had so many injuries. He's finally on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like, you laugh at me because I say this every week. We've had 12 first-team series
So
injuries.
Yeah.
Whoa, wow.
So we-
With all due
Wow.
respect,
so
though,
we-
Newcastle
Doesn't
have had more injuries and we're still higher than you in the
I
league.
don't think you've actually had more. I think you've kind of had the same.
But this is
Genuinely,
mate,
it's not actually up for debate. We have the most injuries.
I don't actually
More than
think
United.
you have.
We've got
Had more than
statistically, and this is you can die on the helmet.
How many?
I'll get the sword out. Days missed via injury.
Let's count it.
We're out in front by a country mile.
More than-
Chelsea
No.
aren't even close to us.
I mean,
Everyone
if you included
Not like
gambling ban,
United as
maybe.
well.
but-
No, we're talking about, honestly, like I've seen this start. It's like days missed, we're out in front by a mile. And also, we've just got Joe Linton injured, so that'll top up again. Oh, well, Isak's also just got an injury. And, so we're definitely clear of it. I don't think injuries, when you've got such a diverse squad, which it's even quite difficult to pinpoint what the best 11 of Chelsea have, is a fair excuse.
not a good enough
for me.
I think the expected injuries would be far more for Chelsea. No, we've had so many injured players. Like
everyone's had injuries
I know
this
it's not.
season,
I know
though,
it's
man.
not.
Like,
yeah,
I
everyone has,
think
that's
we
true.
kind of know Newcastle have had the
That's
worst.
true. They've
But
had bad.
it's interesting.
More than United. We've not had. We just got our first back four back.
Newcastle's
You
been
can't fuck with
crazy,
me on
man.
injuries, mate. It's like my specialist subject at this point.
What's going on with Chelsea players going down in the box, by the way?
I don't know.
Nkunku's just,
Mate, he actually looks like he's hurt here. I don't know what's happened.
Oh, my God.
Imagine that. We've just said
Bro.
he's the personality,
know.
he's
He
the
needs-
guy, and his knee's going to get.
No, but it was like a twisting. It was a twisting knee
Oh,
motion.
bro, he's not up, man. I'm serious. Like,
No,
this
if he's
is-
twisted his knee here, we're fucked.
do you know how players? Because sometimes just like really that. Oh my God, he's fucked.
It's nice.
He's
His knee.
fucked. He's fucked.
Look, it's Virgil on his.
Oh, it's gone down the
looks
back of his
ankle,
Achilles.
boys.
I hope
It's
he's
gone
all
down.
right. Like honestly,
They're not even looking at that.
No, he's up.
What's
Is he
going
up?
on?
Is he up?
He's that.
He must be up.
The miracle
Guys,
spray.
was that contact
That
in the area?
miracle spray that
Yeah.
just makes everything okay.
Can we go back? The one question I've got for the Manchester United situation is: let's just suggest that Ten Hag does get sacked.
Yeah.
We have to remember that there are Barcelona looking for a new manager, Liverpool looking for a new manager.
Yeah.
So you can't. The longer they persist with Ten Hag, you're almost sleepwalking into like a competition that you're not going to win, because Liverpool right now, managers would rather go there because they're much better set up, right? So who do they get if they pull the trigger now or as quick as they can? Who do they get?
But this is the thing. There's not much talent out there. Is there really?
Well,
Really?
Mourinho's just offered himself up. I
And
think
he needs to
no
stop-
Man
he
United
needs to
fan wants
relax.
Mourinho, though,
He
do
needs
they?
to never.
And the two managers that have just left clubs in terms of Xavi and Klopp, A, Klopp won't go there. B,
Obviously not,
you
yeah.
don't-
But
don't
wait a second,
Xavi.
how can you write off Jose so quickly? I know it's going back to your ex, but I mean,
Would you have
Jose's
Jose
one
back?
thing.
Josh, it's
Would you
not
have
just
Jose
going
back?
back.
That's
to
your real ex. That's like your ex.
but not joking around. Like when there were Poch out sort of rumours and that sort of thing. If you think about the next possible candidate, a lot of Chelsea fans would 100% take Jose back, 100% easily.
But that's you lot. Like that's just
We have
your-
that. We have a connection
could
with Jose.
Never, we could
we have
never.
a connection with Jose that
Oh,
will go.
It's weird because he's your best manager
Yeah.
since
Oh,
Fergie.
but it was bad, man. It was
It
horrible.
weren't as bad as this, mate. It
No, I'm
weren't as
telling
bad
you
as
right
this.
now, yeah. You like Man United fans don't even remember. I remember losing big games, and he said it's heritage, it's football heritage, as in like we expected to lose. I remember losing to Spurs, and then he's doing that to the crowd. The guy's a clown, man. Didn't even live. Hold on.
Cross in for Liverpool. Off the ball.
Darwin.
Darwin hits the ball. He's had
Are you
about
not-
10
are
shots
you
at
not
least.
saying- when does it get bad? When is it taking the piss from Darwin?
Yeah.
Great shot by Elliott there from
Good
the outside
save.
of the area. Wow.
Liverpool still all over them. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold in the box. Surely going to clear
Bloody
it.
hell.
Yeah.
All right.
They're
So
all
when is
over
it?
here.
When's it taking the piss from Darwin Núñez?
Yeah. Well,
But
Because
then
we
they
must be
But
here.
then they win games.
But we must be here.
Bruv, I've been with you all season.
It's 3-1. It's 3-1, and they need to kind of put it to bed. Mate, are you taking the piss?
Chelsea aren't the best at this. shit. You know what I mean?
He's got a lot of goal to aim at there as well. Like there's
It's taking the piss.
the thing with United, by the way, coming back to the manager
Yeah.
thing. Like I've read something that Ineos, the first thing they did like a big sort of inspection of the club, and they went through who did what. And apparently, the first thing they came up with, they went, "How the hell did some of these players get here?" And the first thing they did, they went, "Right, okay, it was Ten Hag that bought some of them." And apparently, the first thing they've done, they've gone, "Right, you can take that Amex out of your wallet now, mate.
Yeah.
You're not doing any more
Yeah,
buying.
you can't do it. Yeah.
You can't be in charge of that.
Yeah.
Right? It like you.
I
you
really wish I could have seen Ten Hag's face.
yeah. Give that Amex back right now. No
I'm
more
happy they
spending,
had
man.
to because we bought Mason Mount, and that still doesn't make sense.
None of it makes sense.
Bro.
None
It
of
makes sense for me.
sense.
The fact that we've got like a real photo finish between
Hey,
who's
Louis
worst-
van Gaal's on me.
yeah, who's the worst signing of the season between Mount,
And
Anthony,
Havertz.
Onana,
Onana.
like all of
Onana.
these
Havertz.
But anyway,
He can't admit it.
who the fuck takes over Man United? That's the question.
Whoa.
And what do they do? Like it's
I'd
similar
like
way
to-
to Chelsea. There's
I
so
want to
much
give my
guffing
manager to
do.
Jan. I want to give him to Jan.
Bro,
No.
this guy is being taken out and he's being shot from behind the head by a guy who he thinks is his friend. It's going down
No, but
mafia style.
You
Worse
can
than
understand
that.
why Brian thinks that though, because like, let's be honest, they're doing this strategic review. They're going to want to put their guy in charge. So look, hypothetical world, he does get the sack in the summer. Who is your preferred candidate? Not whether you want him or not. Who do you think would take the job?
I don't even.
Potter?
The killer is
Potter?
God forbid.
Isn't that why
God
Ten
forbid.
Hag's lasted as long as he has?
God forbid.
Because of this. Because of the absolute. Who the
Exactly.
fuck do we give
I
it to?
don't know.
Like, because part of the problem now with Man United in the past is like, they were the mega club and they were the one.
Oh, we still got sway. We
no,
could
but
get a manager
everyone
to
used
come.
to think, I'll be the one after
Yeah.
Fergie. Oh, I'm really glad Ollie did that because now I can.
Yeah.
Moyes was the fall guy, then Ollie was the fall guy. The people are now realising they're all the fall guys. This is
Yeah.
the shit club to manage now.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
hard-
the problem.
A hard club, a difficult club to manage.
Yeah,
It is.
sorry.
I feel
Sorry.
I feel like your fans have lost their bollocks a bit with this now because I feel like they've tried everything.
Yeah.
They went right, give it to an ex-player. Ollie went wrong.
Yeah.
Give it to someone that Ferguson would have chosen. Moyes went wrong. All right, get a guy who wins everything. Mourinho went wrong.
Went wrong.
Dutch guy who plays Cruyff football. Van Gaal went wrong. And it's like they don't know that. Like it feels like your fan base are just.
They've run out of
they're
ideas
scared
themselves,
of change.
yeah.
We
They're
don't.
just scared.
Oh,
it's 4-1.
he's rubbish.
Baddest
Whoever that
shield.
is,
Baddest shield.
he's trash.
That was
Man.
not
He
good.
had a look as well. He was in front of him.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz, what a
I'll
run.
be honest though, Liverpool make good defences look bad even, but like, yeah, this hasn't
No,
been
he's
great.
been horrid. He hasn't
I'm just
no-
trying to give a little bit of Liverpool just embarrassed people at Anfield. Like,
It's hard watching this happen to Chelsea, isn't it? This feels cruel, man.
I have to say, though, like you're trying to give credit to the Chelsea defenders. Give credit to Liverpool.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely,
yeah, they do this to everyone.
And you knew they were going to be up for this game, and they've just played it exquisitely.
I'll be honest,
they
though,
make us look absolutely rubbish.
You know, what you're saying, like, you knew it. Like, I was intrigued just to be interested.
Who's run
Good
again?
run.
Nunes is a good run there.
This is it, man. He's relentless.
And it's an assist as well.
And it's a brilliant assist.
Badia Shield's just completely switched off there. I have to say, it's a great finish from Diaz, but yeah, Badia Shield.
That's Nunes' goal, really. Like, Nunes makes that.
He's a centre-back as well. Like, this is his bread and butter, and he's just lost his man completely.
Fantastic.
That's pathetic.
He doesn't even know where he is.
That's horrendous, man.
The thing is, I was interested to see how they'd react to Klopp, and it's as if, like, nothing's changed. You know, this is the relentlessness that they had against Newcastle.
This is who they are.
Yeah.
Do you think we're looking at title winners?
I've said it for a while now. I think they're just going to do it. I just think they're so relentless, and the Klopp factor now just adds to it. Like, I just feel they're going to be up for it more than any other team right up there. And I think that City are a little bit too far away to even catch them up now.
I think what they've got is players coming into form at the right moment as well. Like, we know they've got 4 world-class players. We know that Trent, Alisson, Van Dijk and Salah are world-class. You don't need to worry about their form. Feels like what's happening at this part of the season, Luis Diaz stepping up, Curtis Jones, Jota. Curtis Jones got into that midfield and made that spot his own.
Yeah. Szoboszlai's coming back.
And they got loads of, like, right now they made loads of changes and it was fine. Like,
they got depth, man.
They got depth as well.
Yeah.
Gravenberch.
Do you know what just fucking freaked me out, right? So Chelsea get a counter-attack opportunity on. They whip a long ball to Mudryk, right? Mudryk picks the ball up and just, he looks up and Liverpool have immediately got 10 men behind. And the speed at which they did that, when you're winning 4-1, when you don't have to be as urgent.
Their physicality is something that I haven't seen it in any other club.
But that's what I was saying earlier about how they let the pitch be big. They don't do what City and Arsenal do, where they compress space and try and play in a small space. They go, let the pitch be big because we'll catch you. Yeah. Get behind us. We got the fastest defenders. We'll catch you. We'll get there. Yeah. The keeper will save it. And our strikers, like, the thing we can say about Nunes, he's a donkey. We've watched it, mate. Like, it's comical. And yet, at the same time, I bet if you'd say to those Chelsea defenders, who gave you the most headaches today, they'd all say Nunes. Because he doesn't stop.
Yeah.
The Nunes thing, we've mentioned it before, but we probably haven't given him credit when we go, he doesn't let the shots missed bother him.
No.
That's a real skill, that, because, like, for example, I mentioned a while back about Sean Longstaff in shying away from the ball, against Sunderland and frustrating me. Like, some people, when they've not got the bottle for it, it's obvious because they hide away. And Nunes never hides away, no matter what the fuck happens. And that's a real, like...
It's a quality, but then when you know that you're going to... He's lucky that he's in a team where they're going to keep creating chances.
It's not just the team, though. It's him.
It's him, but
it's
then
his run.
When you only get 1 or 2 and you miss them, the fans feel differently. But is that how you lot was? Remember when Giroud just wasn't like...
But yeah, I know what you're saying. But this is the difference between top strikers and the level below. And this is, I'm not saying Nunes is a top finisher, but there's a reason that he is the main, and he's become the focal point for Liverpool. Let's be honest. There's a point in this season where he was a bit in and out of the team. He's in the team all the time now, and he's going to be in the team for a team that might well win the league. And the reason for that is if you go through and look at the players that miss the most chances each season, have a look one day. You can always find those tables. Who misses the most chances?
Nunes.
It's the best strikers in the league. It's always Haaland and Salah. Because they get the most chances, because they always get in the best positions. Like, every single time, the last few seasons, Kane used to miss a lot as well, because he gets so many chances. He takes so many shots.
Yeah.
It's all down to his movement and how hard he works with Nunes. Like, he's never going to be a finisher. He's never going to score goals.
It's never going to happen. We're never going to agree who the fuck takes a Man United job.
We're never. I don't, honestly, like, I'm just hoping that right now, every time I've thought this could be the guy, it hasn't worked. So, and I'm thinking, we just have to, for the first time, not pull the triggers as quick as we want to. Because this guy, I still believe that there's something still left in Ten Hag, and just take away the transfer. Take away the transfer. Don't let him sign. Yeah, I think he's...
Because I'm sitting listening to you thinking,
I think there's something left.
Mad, you like.
I think there's something left in Ten Hag. Honestly, I think what you have to do is he can't be on transfers. Now there's some structure at the club, and you start to bomb out the players that haven't given a shit, that don't care about us. And then after, at least, I would say at least to Jan.
Right,
After-
what I'm gonna do, mate, is I'm gonna chuck you the bookies' favourites to
Go on.
replace him, and I just want to say you can just say yes or no whether
Yeah.
you would have him over Ten Hag. Graham Potter is the favourite.
No.
Lopetegui,
No.
Amorim,
Who?
Ruben Amorim.
Don't know him.
That's Sporting Lisbon, is it?
There you go. He's a very good manager.
No. Man United
The
is-
Zerbi.
Fuck me, he's not
Come
having a
on.
good time lately. He's got 3 wins
Wow,
out of the last
that's it,
16.
man.
I mean, Barcelona won him.
So.
Okay, don't fancy him. Fair enough. Hansi Flick.
I just feel like it's more of the same. It's like what you.
This is it, though. You got
It's
trauma.
more of the same.
These
It's more of
United
the-
fans have got
It's
trauma.
more of the same. What do you like? What do you like in any of those?
You know,
Do you like any of those?
None of them scream definitely yes. But what I will say is, I think the good point by Jacob is that Man United fans kind of they feel like they've lost belief now,
Yeah.
like that'll ever happen. Do you know what I mean?
I just feel like it's such a shame. Like, don't get it twisted. I do enjoy. I enjoy watching how De Zerbi plays. Like, I do enjoy it. Yes, it's good on the eye. But then I even enjoy Eddie Howe. But then at Man United, it's a
Do you know the
different.
funniest thing about
It's a
it?
different level.
Eddie Howe would be perfect.
No, but it's a different level. We would murder him.
With all due respect, though,
Guys, I promise
he's
you.
better than Ten Hag.
All right, but we would murder him. At Man United, what you have to deal with as a manager is not like any other job in world football.
I know, but that
He'd be
it's
murdered
true.
after Eddie Howe's all them losses that Eddie Howe's had this season. Do you think the Man United fans are going to be happy with
He's
that?
still
shit?
above you guys right now. And
I'm saying that again. Ten Hag had that season. What he's living off is last season.
the tools that Eddie Howe would have at your club, for example, would be significantly greater.
What tools?
The amount of money that Ten Hag and Manchester United have spent over the last however long.
But you still got problems to fix.
Yeah, but the point is Eddie Howe would, for example, make the players that you've already got better, which is something Ten Hag hasn't really done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then he would also spend the money far better than Ten Hag.
Nunes again.
I'm not saying that I want you to get Eddie Howe. I'm just
No,
saying,
we wouldn't.
It's
I'm
a
just
bit of a
saying.
no-brainer.
I'm just saying. A lot of these managers that we can mention, it would not tread water at Man United.
Would you? Sorry to interrupt you. The only thing I'd say, obviously, a lot of
Look
those.
what it did to Potter. Chelsea did to
But
Potter.
a lot of those managers there, they don't have much leeway because they've got no connection to your club.
We don't care about that one. We don't care about
So you don't think
That's
someone like
gone.
Michael Carrick?
Huh?
The only reason I'm not saying I think he's any good. The only thing I'm saying is you seem to give Ollie a lot of leeway, and he came from
Yeah,
Norway.
And he scored. You know what he did for us? He scored he get our memories, our beautiful memories.
Carrick gave you beautiful memories, man. He won Champions Leagues with you.
You're
Hell
saying
no.
people would destroy like an Eddie Howe, for example. So what you're suggesting is you need a massive ego to handle Manchester United.
you need the right guy.
So here's the problem. Those guys don't want to manage Man United. The Zidanes, they don't want to fucking know Man
Zidane's
United.
going nowhere
They-
near it.
No, but I'm just suggesting, like, the managers who have big egos, they don't want to go there
Like
anymore.
a Carlo.
So, yeah,
That's what we need. That's the kind
you
of
could have.
Carlo, beautiful.
He's re-signed
like-
with Real Madrid, not happening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
that's what we need.
I'll give you a name, Antonio Conte.
Yeah, available.
The football would be.
Doesn't matter about the football. He wins.
Prehistoric.
He wins trophies.
The
and
football would be
matches, mate.
prehistoric, mate.
He's the only one, and he's just re-signed with. He's just signed with AC Milan.
Yeah.
So, but like, these guys don't want to go to Man United. So,
Someone
it's
will
got to be a club builder.
No, but it's what I do like is finally the people that we have brought in, even Blanc, that's there. He's in and a part of the board of directors. You got Brailsford and you got the new guy Omar. So at the end of the day, it's in the right people's hands. Before, Woodward and these lot have been bringing in players and they've been trying to get it done like that. No. Get in someone, decide a style of play that we want to, decide the type of players that we want to bring in and fit in the manager that can do that. So if that's the case going forward, then yeah. And that's why I say, you know what, with the structure that we have, let's see how this guy looks because it's already difficult. None of the guys you said, I don't like them better than Ten Hag.
I'm going to chuck a few
Who?
more then.
Who do you-
Thomas Tuchel could be on the market.
He's a good name.
He would be one that would immediately.
He's a
improve
good.
you.
He's a good name. But
Ego-wise, he's got the ego, but
he's a good name. But even at
He would come to. He would go to Man United.
He's not getting great at Bayern though.
I mean, he would go to Man United. And
Of course he
improve.
would, but
He's a better manager than Ten Hag. I mean, that's objectively.
Yeah, he's got
Objectively, how can you say?
There's definitely no question about that.
Yeah.
I agree.
And he's going to be on the market. He's going to be absolutely pissed after how it's gone at Bayern.
If he doesn't win at Bayern though, doesn't that say something about him
Fuck
though?
me.
with fucking Kane.
But just seeing the league as it stands, and that like Liverpool like have been so good, and they're only 5 points clear, and City have a game in hand. You're like, fucking hell. Like,
That's why he's tired.
Like, genuinely, bro. It's no wonder you're losing energy.
That's why
you're running from a fucking cheetah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's why he's tired.
It is what he's tired though. You're right, man.
That's why he's tired.
Like, we had a bit of it last season, Arsenal, when we had City behind us. It's relentless. You can't make any mistakes. You also, it makes it harder to blood young players.
Yeah.
Like, fair play to Klopp for what he has done with the young players, but like there are young players leaving Arsenal at the moment, and people are having a go at Arteta. It's like, where do you think he would have played these guys? Like, where do you think that anyone had room to?
To be fair though, Kobe Mainoo is playing for Man United now. Like you've got
ninth place, yeah.
Quality.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? It's
To
that.
be fair, like
He's
Liverpool
good,
have
though.
got quite a lot of youngsters on. They've just brought on Clark, who very frustratingly, I think Newcastle could have had because his dad played for Lee Clark. He played for Newcastle back in the day. It's his son. And
really?
unfortunately, Lee Clark's son, he unfortunately somehow has ended up at Liverpool. I'm like, fucking hell.
I mean, this is the magic of Klopp, though, isn't it? It's why Klopp does deserve so much respect, because as I say, he does manage to blood young players.
Yeah.
With Man United, I don't trust that your fans would trust what these guys are going to bring in. Say, for example, by the way, I think Tuchel was a great shout. I think that's a huge shout.
I think it could happen.
Some of those names that Josh was saying, and I could see you kind of Flick. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If these guys pick one of them, would you get behind them?
absolutely. We have to.
Would you?
Tuchel
We have
would
to.
be
We ain't got no choice.
I think Tuchel was a huge shout, by the way. I think Tuchel was a really good shout.
I think there are other managers on this list, like De Zerbi. I think he'd go. I think he would leave Brighton, and I
Them
think he would
losses-
improve. I think he would improve. Man United.
Here you go.
Go on, Madrid.
Go on.
This is what we wanted to see.
100 meter
don't worry.
sprint. 100 meter sprint. He wins it back.
Beautiful play from Mikhailo. Come on, give him his little
No,
moment.
he's done all right there.
Give him
I mean,
his little
he
moment.
achieved nothing, but he's done all right. No, but he genuinely looked good.
Yeah, no, it looked great, and it's back with a centre back. Well done.
What I
done,
love is
Mikhailo.
some kid now is clipping that up for a hell of a YouTube.
Oh, this is going to be unbelievable.
but I love it.
Euro trance in the background. Mikhailo
We spent the
Midfield.
90 million on. Thank you.
2003, 2004. Streets won't forget. One shoulder shrug, and that's the end of it. That's the end of the comp.
To be fair, he had about 3 moments when his first game against Liverpool where he did exactly that, and I've seen those in about 18 different compilations. So it's happened.
I feel
Don't-
because based on what we've seen today, Mudryk would have been a better choice to start this game than Raheem Sterling by a country mile.
I mean, I haven't even seen Raheem Sterling do anything in the last
Good crossing from Sterling. I'm joking.
Imagine the assist. Imagine the assist.
He tried to get me.
I just thought it'd be
He
great
tried
if
to get me.
it
It would have been
come on.
comedy
Yeah,
time,
I'd have fucking
and we've
loved
had a
that.
few of those.
Yeah.
I
But yeah.
got to say, man, Liverpool looks scary today. We've obviously got Liverpool on Sunday.
They look better than Arsenal right now.
Mate, you were fairly confident. Am I doing you a disservice? You were fairly confident earlier on about that game.
They thought they was going to do
Yeah,
it.
I was because we've played them at the Emirates in the FA Cup, and I thought we were the better team despite losing the game. I thought at Anfield it was fairly even. I felt confident about that game. I've watched them tonight. I'll be here for it. We're covering
will
it
be doing
here.
it.
I've got to be honest. There's a part of me going.
Shit.
This afternoon, I was like, I wish I was in the stadium for that game. And today, I'm like, I don't mind being on the kickoff for that game.
I think they're going to be very good. I think they're going to.
They're good, but listen.
teams over.
In terms of the title race this season, I think it's down to those head-to-heads. I really do. I think each of the three teams that are in it have got to play each other. I think whoever wins those games will win the Premier League. And right now, Liverpool, in terms of the depth they've got in attack, in terms of the way they're playing football, the defence have looked impenetrable today. Apart from the one time they were penetrated
They have been
by
penetrated.
Christopher
Just want to say.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
There are weaknesses there, like, and that was the one thing that, like, when Newcastle were trying to build some momentum before Jota threw himself to the floor like a little bitch. We did expose some little holes there, but like, unfortunately, I don't think
That's a good keeper.
Chelsea,
That's ridiculous.
in the way they were set up, were going to cause enough problems today.
It's how they play. They let you expose them.
Yeah.
They go. Feel free taking my knickers down because I'm going to slap you around the face after
No.
you do it. Like
But I have to say though, guys, like the way that Chelsea are playing at the moment, we know that we're porous. We know that we're open. We know that if you've got a very good sort of wing play and centre forward
Man of
play,
the match.
it's going to Conor Bradley.
Player
Well
of the
done.
match, sorry.
But you know that we're going to concede goals, and so for me, that's why I wasn't confident before the the game because you just know that Liverpool are basically our kryptonite with the way that they move the ball fast. They've got very good attacking players, and so
That's why I
thought it was
can't understand not starting Mudryk. Like he's quite a big lad. He's quick, counter attack. Like when Sterling did get the ball on the counter attack, which is your chance, he slowed it down. He achieved nothing. He created nothing. Like
I think the rationale is that Mudryk in his last game played absolutely awful. Was hooked at half time.
oh, you kept that one quiet.
Yeah. We didn't mention that earlier. This is kind of what I was saying to you, though, mate. Like, if he's the hope, he's the future, right? Sterling's not the future. Mudryk's the future. So why not play him?
I don't know. This is the thing. Like with Raheem, he never does it in the big games. Like he's very good at beating,
had a great game
beating
against
up against
Luton,
Burnley,
yeah,
Luton.
Yeah.
Like he's very, very good at those games. But yeah, against the big teams, he isn't doing.
Is it not
They
the
should
same
have
as what
started.
you're
sick of
saying,
it.
Do you know
though,
they should have
KJ?
One sick
started
of it.
thingy? They should have started Casado and Enzo.
Is it not the same?
Shagger.
Is it not the same though? Is the same reason why
It's hilarious. 'cause
Ten
they put
Hag
you in your
keeps
midfield.
starting Rashford? The same reason Poch keeps starting Sterling. It's like,
Yep.
my job's on the line here,
Job's
and
on the line.
you are proven, and I need to trust in the
I
proven
need
right
you-
now
yeah.
because
Yeah, but-
I can't afford to gamble.
Yep.
But I think you do need to just twist sometimes in these games. Like we knew that Liverpool were going to attack us, and we knew that they were going to allow some space. Now they've got world-class defenders, so the amount of space you're going to get isn't massive. But maybe Mudryk's pace would have been good there.
This is watching Poch with Sterling. It's like watching someone in like a toxic relationship. It's
Yeah,
like
so true.
he's going to cheat on you again. Don't trust him again. He's
Yeah,
gaslighting you. Don't leave him.
That's
you know?
exactly how Rashford is with Ten Hag as well. Though it's the same shit.
Yeah, he's going to go out
Why
again. He's
Hey,
going to go out again, Eric.
He's not going to track
Rashford's gonna
back.
score.
The thing is, though, is it's like he's still on the pitch, guys. You know, we've had 5 subs and Sterling is still on the pitch.
That's
That's exactly.
Sterling
like
has
our
literally
situation,
been
actually.
irrelevant in this game.
That's
so
exactly
irrelevant.
like our situation.
Yeah.
He's gonna play.
Yeah.
That's why I think. How could you can't do that to him because he's like he gives you all the opportunity in the world. So Sterling should be fighting tooth and nail for this manager.
We've
I
got
hate when they do that.
We've got a super chat here from Blickley. Arsenal have no chance to win the title this season. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
We're on the right path, though. UCL, though, who knows?
I love that.
Can you win the Champions League?
I do.
That's so funny to me.
I do think that the way we've built the team actually suits cup competitions more than it suits the league. I've said this a couple of times on this show before, but I feel like I feel like you win leagues with attacks and you win cups with defences. And like Arteta's really leaned into the defence so far. Looking at what we've got Porto next, then we'll be in the quarterfinals.
They'll probably knock you out. You know.
Porto.
Yeah.
I think
That's the
I
that's the
agree with
Arsenal
everything you're saying,
That's the
but-
Arsenal meltdown. That's the Arsenal
If you look
meltdown
at the
I'm
way
looking for.
England made it to the finals, Newcastle making it in the League Cup final last year, we had the best defence in the league.
Yeah.
Defences get you far. Like, and the way you suffocate teams and the way you stop teams from getting the ball, I think you've got a great chance.
We're
I think
fourth.
Porto will knock you out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the Arsenal meltdown.
50 quid.
I've got a lot of outstanding bets.
Yeah.
A lot. I've got a lot of
Mate, award nominated, right? He's
yeah,
making
I've
that
got-
money.
Listen, I understand, mate. I owe someone a lot of money
I owe
because
someone a-
Mudryk's going to score 9 goals this season, so I've got to be careful. But no,
When that happens, I'm going to fucking laugh my ass.
I think the comment in that super chat is a great comment. Listen, do I believe we will win the league? No. Do I think we can? Yeah. Do I think we can win the Champions League? Yeah, I do. I think we're 4 favourites. Who am I scared of in the Champions League?
Real Madrid.
City.
City we've beaten twice already this season,
Yeah.
If you can beat City, you can beat anyone. Simple as that, really.
and we've done it twice.
I think it's a team that you might overlook that you should be afraid of. Like the Porto game, it's not going
to
to
be
be.
honest with you, that is kind of what scares me more.
Yeah.
And what kind of does scare me is our Europa League record under Arteta, especially
Exactly.
away from home, is
There you go.
And it was those
There is
exact
those
teams,
teams.
yeah.
It's those ones. It's those ones are like, and I think that's where the meltdown comes because you lot are hoping for you lot need him to win something, and this is the last real shot of silverware for you lot.
I think we've got this season and next season. I don't think it needs to be this season. I think we've got this one and next. And I think the reason it has to be next season is because all of our big players signed 4-year contracts. Some are just gone.
Yeah.
Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, Ødegaard. Come next summer, it's going to be 2 years left for all of them. I think not this summer, but next summer, by the summer of 2025, we need to put medals around their necks.
you have to.
But I think this season is his first one with the Champions League. We've transitioned a little bit away from Xhaka and Partey.
Yeah.
He will get a pass if he doesn't win anything this season.
I don't know. I feel like it's getting a bit touchy in the Arsenal fan base, and I honestly feel like you lot need something now. You need something. He's what? He's at eighth.
I think they're doing well.
Yeah, but then right now it's like, well, do something now. Now it's show and tell. Yeah. You got to put something on the table.
Being that they're level on points with Man City, and Man City have just got De Bruyne and Haaland back, you would not think Arsenal are going to win the league. It doesn't look the most.
We're outsiders. We're complete outsiders.
It could happen, but it's unlikely.
We would have to beat Man City away from home and Liverpool at home. I think we can do both those things.
Look at this.
It's still
Look
a
at
long
it.
way
Here you
away.
go. Fist bump. He's getting for the title.
This is going to happen.
He's getting for the title.
This is going to happen 9 more times.
Can I-
He's
can
going
I-
to enjoy
can I-
every single moment, and he deserves it.
We said something about, I said earlier about Ferguson, how he said he was going to leave in 2002, then he stayed. Do you think there's any chance he turns around and stays?
Hell no.
I feel like German people are very much like men of their
Man
word.
of principle.
Yeah. There's just something about them that I think you're not going to change now. And
Whereas
actually,
Scots are lying bastards. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, Sir Alex was always lying, wasn't he? No, but like, I feel like the fact that I think I read somewhere that he was thinking about it last season, and I think his missus talked him out of it. So the fact that he nearly did this before and then come to the conclusion.
Jeez, that's a good record.
Yeah, that's a
Dad.
great
Look,
stat.
that's the top 5. Isn't it?
That was what we were
fewest
talking about.
games to 200 wins was it Pep?
Pep was number.
Pep was
number
288 and Jurgen was on 318.
Yeah, which is
He was
mad
above.
considering the start that Pep had with that squad. Fuck
Then
me.
it was Ferguson, then Mourinho, then Wenger.
Yeah.
Did anyone else notice how wet
Told you,
that pitch was
Chelsea.
today? People were falling over constantly. Did they like?
Let's
It's
not-
just to
let's not
help
have the
Jota
conspiracy
like
theories.
more simulation.
To be fair,
just more of a-
I noticed that. I don't know if I noticed that when Arsenal played at Anfield as well.
Mate,
they water the hell out of
it's
that
it's a nightmare to play on that, and I guess it must work for their style or whatever.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, people are falling over left, right, and centre. We'll knock it on the head there for the night, lads. Thank you to
Couple of super
everyone.
chats, by the way.
Yeah, did we do them all?
There was one more super chat,
we'll do
and
one more.
we should say this. Nathan said Klopp announcing he's leaving has fired up the team like we've never seen before. There's no Trent, no Robbo, no Salah, no Endo. It's a demolition job.
Good point, mate. Fair play. We can't argue with that. Big love to everyone on the show. Big love to everyone who supports the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Cheers.